Can you hear him, Dash?
No, I can't hear him.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I put a new gaming controller, and it, like, for some reason, took that as the... Anyways. How you doing, guys? Welcome to another stream. We got Dash back again with Stupendous Wave. We're chilling. We're going to have a good time and see where the conversation goes today. So, how you doing, boys?
Phenomenal. How are you?
I'm chilling. I'm good. Ready to get
very
this
well,
stream
thank
going.
you.
So, anything new in the last week besides Skeleton Crew for you?
And just getting ready for, holidays. I feel like December is a pretty big month, the biggest month for, you know, almost everybody, especially people that make YouTube videos. So, just getting that stuff out, trying to double post, make hay while the sun.
Oh, really? Eh? Yeah,
trying
man,
to.
I miss posting more. I've just been so busy with sabers. It's incredible, but it's also very time consuming, so it's taking all my attention.
Yeah. I imagine it's seasonal sometimes, ebbs and flows as life does. Sometimes you're going to post more than you don't.
Yeah. So anyway,
when a movie comes out, that's going to be daily videos.
Yeah. Well, no, even lore stuff. Like, I could be posting a ton of lore like I used to. I just honestly have not had a moment. I've just been focused on that, and that's good. So anyways, we're here now, chilling. Happy to be here with the community. So Skeleton Crew, what'd you guys think of episode 3?
I really liked it.
Phenomenal.
Surprisingly, I feel bad for the creatives because I feel like a lot of people are not going to watch because of past, the previous few releases, and
Acolyte.
you can really tell, specifically Acolyte, but like just Mando season 3, all that stuff. And there's clearly a lot of love and hard work put into this show, and the kids are really doing a good job. And Jude Law was a super cool addition, and I like him. I love morally gray characters in Star Wars. It just fits so well.
So what do you think the deal is? He's actual Force user, or he's just got some tricks up his sleeve?
I hope he's like a semi-Force user charlatan, somebody that can just faintly touch the Force but never really put much thought into it. Have you ever seen the movie Looper?
Yes.
Yeah, so in
with Bruce Willis.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the movie Looper, they have like that thing where certain people are telekinetic, but all they can really do is like move a coin around, and they use it to like pick up chicks or whatever.
Right.
And I think something cool in Star Wars like that is what I hope we're getting, and I think that could be fun.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. I mean, the third one for me was a little bit. It was lore. There was dragging a little bit. It wasn't as fun as the first two, but I kind of attribute that to the fact that it's just literally it was a one episode, right? At 1 episode week. So I think if they did 2, we'd probably get a little more fun, a little more story, especially for those episodes that, are a little bit more slower.
Yeah, just setting the groundwork for payoffs later, for sure.
Yeah, essentially. But for the most part, I mean, it's a very laid-back show. There's nothing really to think about beyond just a bunch of kids on an adventure, and a pirate adventure, and that's about it.
That's what I want from a Christmas show, though. Like, I want something to put on that I can just feel an emotion. I don't have to like think through every second of it.
Yeah,
I dig it.
Well, it's also it's nice to have something that's not like the Acolyte destroying everything.
That certainly helps.
Right. So, what do you think, Dash?
I really like the beats. I know that we spoke about this pre-stream, and Stoops and I were like getting so excited because it felt Star Wars again, and it's hard to articulate what feeling like Star Wars means. I'm sure people in chat will probably be like writing an essay, which I appreciate because I can't even articulate it, but like the music fit, the animatronic, like all of the puppets really fit, except I did find it weird. I saw a Jawa's face, like just a black mask, when they've been, established as kind of reptile people. I thought that was a little bit weird that his head popped out.
Yeah.
but obviously small gripe aside, I really like the pacing. It's kind of like, you know how like the OG movies or A New Hope, there was back to back like a shit sandwich that fall into a trash compactor and get out, and then they had to, you know, get off the death. It felt like it just one thing and another, but it wasn't just contrived where I'm like, oh, they're just gonna break free of the fuel line and fly away.
Yeah.
It always felt like there was an element of danger, and I couldn't, like, Jude Law's a tricky bastard. I'm like, ooh, what is he doing? Is it magnets? Has he got the force? Is he like, I don't know. Is he? I don't want to use the word Sith, but he, you know, what is he? What's his deal? In my head, I'm like, I think they're gonna roll up his sleeve and he's gonna be a charlatan, maybe. But yeah, I like the idea of like a pathetic force user that like can barely touch the force. It kind of gets me all excited. I don't know. I haven't felt this excited in so long.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's nice to. I think for me, what's exciting is like to watch something that I know is not going to destroy everything else. Like it's just set aside. It's kind of doing its own thing, and it just doesn't have to like freaking like what the Acolyte did or what Last Jedi did or anything like that. It's just kind of separate. It's literally like get suburbs in Star Wars. It's like, all right.
But is it? Different. Is he going to have some sad backstory? It's going to be Order 66 and he escapes. And you're like, oh, come on, not another one.
I don't think so. I don't think they would do that. I think they're like completely playing it safe in the sense that they're just going to stay away and just do something totally different. For kids, literally, I can see, like, I have a lot of friends that have kids and they're like, my kids love this show. I was talking to Roger and he was Roger Christian. He was like, his son, who's like 9 or something, he loves the show because it's just like it's a kid's show, and typically he doesn't like stuff because he's from the same cloth that Roger is and doesn't really like some of the new things. But yeah, it's lighthearted show. I like it.
Surprisingly funny when the B1 activated and it was like, did we win? And then he turns it right back off. That killed me. That's like one of the best jokes I've seen in a Star Wars thing for a while.
I know. Yeah.
There's a lot of payoffs. Like when that droid, when he hauls the droid off, number one, I thought the guy was going to let him go. I forget what was the alien that, you know, the guard, the mechanic. I forget its species just off the top of my head, but I thought number one, that something, you know, he was going to talk his way out of it. But number two, when he takes the droid away and then the droid gets reconstructed on the ship, I couldn't believe they gave it a peg leg. The pirate theme goes so well with Star Wars, and they've just beautifully, kind of made it happen. I don't know. I was so happy with that. I was like, oh my God, that's a great payoff.
This show makes me giggle. It just, I just like watching it feels just like the Goonies. First off, I know that endlessly they've been saying that it feels identical in tone to the Goonies with a Star Wars paint over it. And that could sound like a criticism on the surface, but it is meant in the most positive way possible when I say that. Goonies with Star Wars paint, but the paint job's great.
While that's great and all, I still want to see more actual Star Wars, so I'm excited for what they have in 2025. I hope that it's going to be good, which is kind of what I always say. But, you know, we don't even have a date for Ahsoka Season 2, which kind of leaves me wondering, are they going to release it in 26 and then they're going to release the movie and have it all kind of coincide together? Or what's the deal with that? Like, what do we even have in 2025? Andor? Season 2?
That's pretty much it. That's confirmed, yeah. It's barren currently.
Yeah.
I think, you know, we can only talk in hypotheticals here, but I think that what they're going to do is Dave Filoni probably had plans for a 3rd season of Ahsoka, and they probably told him to wrap it up and focus on his movie. That would be my big guess. So I think that what they're going to do is we're going to get Ahsoka in 2026 and the movie in 27. That would be my guess.
Yeah, probably something like that. What do you think's going on with this Rey movie?
I hope nothing. But I know that they're not like that. Someone on Twitter said, or X, that Kathleen Kennedy said she might step down if Skeleton Crew was a success. Is that just something someone made up, or is that a real?
Sounds made up, dude.
Yeah,
I've been saying that for 10 years. Kathleen Kennedy's going to X, and it never ever happens. I do know that studios seem to like because they were overproducing for a while, and it seemed like Star Wars was broad as an ocean, but as deep as a puddle. And because they kept having these misses with how many projects they were doing, they blamed the amount instead of their own quality control. But now that I think Skeleton Crew, I think because it's going to be a win, it might embolden them to actually take more chances instead of like they're really just tight, and you can feel them like just getting ready for body blows with everything. Every project seems to just fall off.
Really?
Yeah. Well, like you said, we've heard for the last however many years that this is Kathleen Kennedy's last year and blah blah blah. But and it, and people seem so excited for it, and it's like, yeah, that'd be great, but she's just going to get replaced with someone that's a younger, more powerful version of her. Soon I will have a new ability.
So it's a systemic issue, it's not an individual issue.
Well, yeah,
sure.
it's Disney, man. They got to really figure out, which direction are we going here?
It's just so tough because there's 3 lanes of thought that I see. I see what Disney wants to do, what they're going to do, and I see what the fans want. And I think what Disney wants to do is release a Rey trilogy yesterday and like have everybody love it, but they can't do that.
No.
So that's why they keep pushing it back. They're like, maybe if we, get some trust back with Skeleton Crew and maybe Mandalorian and Grogu's a hit, maybe we can, build a platform in which to launch this Rey movie. And I think that that's where they're at currently, but I don't think it's ever going to take off because they've been bleeding money from what we have seen just statistically with numbers that the fans are privy to. And I think we're in crunch time, man. I think we're in crunch time.
Maybe. I don't know, man. I just would like to see it going to a better place, of course, as usual, but it seems like it's just kind of all over the board. Like you get Tales of the Empire, which is good, but then you get Tales of the Jedi, and then you get Tales of the Empire, which is just shitty. And then you get Acolyte, which is like it's just the worst thing I've ever seen. And then you get things like Mando season 2 or whatever. And it's just like, all right, guys, like clearly you can make stuff that's good. So what's the deal? Like, why can't we just have more of that? I think they just are hiring too many random people.
No, I agree. I think it's also tough too to like say we see Jon Favreau run into this with The Mandalorian season 3. It's like they make a good Star Wars story, but it's almost as if they're afraid to then explore other avenues with other new characters. They sort of put all their eggs in the basket of Mando and Grogu when you watch the initial release, The Mandalorian wasn't really talked about that much in 2019. It was super overshadowed by episode 9. And it's just super reactionary to see them all move everything into Mando's basket now when I don't think that was ever the intention.
Yeah. No, I know. And, it's kind of like what we were all focusing on with Mando 3s. We were hoping it was going to be a great continuation from 2. But I think with the Boba Fett that came out, it kind of like changed the whole story. And then 3 was just mostly about Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
It wasn't really about anything to do with Mando all that much. And, it was just lazy. It was a lazy script, and bringing back Moff Gideon just wasn't good. So I hope that they learn from these mistakes and they just change their vision a little bit or maybe they had a vision and they just had too many people saying, do this, do that, bring in a Praetorian Guard and blah, 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 blah. They just got a little bit too convoluted. So,
you know what I think happened? I think they told a really small story that was great. Some of the best Star Wars out there, the first 2 seasons of Mando, in my opinion. But then I think, like you're saying, they started getting studio notes. Like, this is a hit. We need to make it bigger. So what I think Mando season 3 is the stepping stone into the Mando film, because you can't realistically go Mando season 1 to movie. It just doesn't match up scale wise unless you really pull it off well. But it's Disney. So I think that they took a precautionary measure with Mando season 3 and they evolved the story to make it more grand.
Yeah.
Which was a mistake.
Yeah.
Mando season 3 is so it's like the definition of a mixed bag. Same with the Book of Boba Fett for me.
And then the whole thing with Lizzo and Jack Black, I was like,
that episode.
Like Jon Favreau brought he brought in Jack Black because his kid wanted him in there. I'm like, dude, this is not the character you put in Star Wars. This is not the actor you put in Star Wars. And if you
No.
do, it's got to be someone who's not. He doesn't act like Jack Black does in literally every single one of his roles. Like he just literally acts like himself. It's nothing special.
It's like George Lucas when his daughter begged him to put in sync in episode 2, in the bar scene, and then he had the foresight to be like, cut it. Like, at least Georgie was like, I made a huge mistake. Whereas these guys were like, bravo, Jack Black with fliggle, diggle, diggle, with his big beard and stuff. I was like, come on, bro.
Plays the same character in every goddamn movie. It's like, dude, he probably has acting range, I would hope. I'm being nice, but I haven't seen it. I don't know, Chad. Is there any movie Jack Black's been in where he has actual like acting range? Kind of like The Rock.
Nacho
Like
Libre.
It's the same thing. It's just slapstick bullshit. It's like
I would say that's the peak of his shtick, but it's still a shtick.
Oh, what was that 90s movie with Bruce Willis where Bruce Willis tested out that auto machine gun and he just mowed down Jack Black? That was awesome. 90s Jack Black was peak. He cut him in half with a machine gun. And he was in Waterworld as well, and he died in a plane. When he did those bit parts, that was perfection.
When he dies.
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda. He's pretty good as Poe. The last Kung Fu Panda movie was so bad.
I never saw Kung Fu Panda.
It's good. The first one's good.
The first one, voice, not the 12.
As your inflection.
Kung Fu Panda it's one of those movies. It's one of those movies where, like, if I have a girlfriend at the time, I'm seeing all of them. But if I don't, it's just I'm missing every single one of these animated movies.
So I put a poll in the chat. Is Star Wars currently cooked? 80% say yes. But it's only 200 votes. We got a very small crew tonight. It's a sleepy time. December. Star Wars is very dry. Nothing really going on.
I love you too, Rossi. Thank you.
Thanks, Rossi. What up, Rossi? Do you think Palpatine threw the mace fight?
Yes.
What? Oh, through.
Yes.
Oh, through. I'm like, so I'm thinking through, like physically through it. No.
What's up?
Did he do it on purpose? Yeah, of course. He wanted his Vader.
I think so. What was that idea that we had a few weeks ago, Wave?
The change my mind thing. Yeah. I think that'd be so fun.
Should we start that tonight? Maybe just bring some guests on.
Please.
Post a link on Twitter or something and bring random people in.
Yeah.
Dash, you down?
Yeah. Hey, always.
Let's do it. Chat, should we bring in some random people? Choose a topic and kind of see where it goes?
You can ban them, right? If you don't like what they're saying. Just insta ban. I love Ray. You should take over. Insta ban.
That's a great point, actually.
Bye-bye.
Basically just essentially just do that. Oh yeah, cool. Sounds good.
All right, now we're running this. Oh, he's coming back.
Unlimited power.
Yeah. Thanks, Theory, for the BOGO saber. I was able to afford getting my 2 nephews their sabers thanks to you. Bless you, brother. Hello, Stupendous. Wow, that makes me happy, B-Man. B-Man, are you going to be grabbing one of the Roger Christians that we're launching tomorrow night? Would you guys agree that Obi-Wan and Anakin's duel on Mustafar will always be the most... Yeah.
It's definitely the most iconic. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's the most iconic.
Definitely.
Why didn't Annie come back when Palps did? Explain.
He don't roll like that. He's a Jedi.
With tubes in him.
Oh, nice, dude. I hope you enjoy it. We need a rated R horror show of Vader hunting Jedi.
I would love that, dude. How scary would that be? You know, like the lights go out.
Selfless YouTuber spending $1 million to make a fan film where that's actually happening. I mean, that'd be
wild.
Do you remember the Dark Knight where Batman Joker's in the interrogation room, the lights go out, and then Batman's standing behind him? I would like to see Vader do that to some poor schmuck.
Oh my gosh. Just be there. I always
Day 1000.
the idea of Jedi, just a Jedi sensing Vader. Like you have a whole moment where you don't see Vader at all. It's just a Jedi's face. And it turns from like confidence to hesitance to just fear.
Just screaming.
Yeah.
What is the F word in Star Wars? Cock? Cock.
Isn't it Dank Ferric or something like that?
Yeah, that's what Mando says.
Day 1000 of Soups until Theory FaceTimes me. Love the new pod and happy holidays. Nothing but love and support. Been a minute since I caught live. It's definitely been a minute, dude. It's definitely day not 1000. It's day like 14, maybe. You gotta step it up. You gotta be more consistent. But hey, you might be able to come on tonight if you want, because we're gonna drop a link. How should we do this actually? Because last time when I dropped the link on Twitter, it was just we couldn't get anyone new coming in because it was maxed out. And it was like every time I would like remove someone, it was just a new person. So let's say you're trying to get someone like Johnny. It was like, Johnny, come in. And it's like, he can't because it's maxed. It's not like you can choose. So I don't know the best way to do it. I strongly believe the announcement of a new Lucasfilm president will be announced at the next celebration. Since Acolyte failed, do you think all hope for Old Republic content is lost?
No.
Isn't it High Republic, not like old? Like it's not touching it really?
Old. That would make more sense. The question, yeah. Dude, I don't like the High Republic era. I think it's kind of boring. I just don't like it. I like the dark side, and the High Republic is lacking in dark side that interests me.
Trump's victory. U.S. dominoes into Disney regressing? Quite possibly.
With an eagle.
Quite possibly. I have a fan who's very close to Trump, actually. Very, very close. Like I'd say within... But anyways, so there might be a potential hangout in the future. I'm not
Is
kidding.
he a Star Wars fan?
The fan who's close to Trump?
No. Is Trump a Star Wars fan? Do we know this?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. Wouldn't that be a heck of a vlog?
Dude, yes. Get him to watch Revenge of the Sith with you.
That'd be funny. Yeah. Yeah. Make Rey and Fern cousins to the Palpatine line. As you can see, I had to change my username. One-armed Sukiyuki. I lost the legal war with your lawyer, so I must bear with just one hand. Just keep it up. It should be mechanical arm, Sukiyuki. Stupendous Wave is the GOAT.
Love you. Thank you. Okay.
Luigi Mangione versus Kathleen Kennedy, Bob Iger. Who wins? I don't know who Luigi Mangione is.
He's the CEO. He's the CEO shooter.
Oh, dude, we can't. Come on, bro. We can't. We don't endorse anyone.
No.
I thought it was like another Disney guy, and I was like,
yeah, I'm like,
he's gonna wrestle him, and,
or some shit.
Yeah. Like, oh my
if
god!
I buy an older saber like Vader Episode 2, does it still have the new sounds? Yeah, of course. Of course.
I've got a question for you, Theory, about sabers. Can you, now that you are so deep in the saber game, can you look at a person and say, I think that hilt suits them? Like, if you're looking at me, what type of hilt should I buy?
You mean like fucking Ollivanders? Literally like Ollivanders, dude. That's hilarious. Yeah. Maybe. But I mean, I think any fan could be able to do that. I don't think it's anything magical, but yeah, I think there are certain sabers that suit certain people for sure.
Yeah, you got to pick the one that calls to you.
Yeah,
no, I was going to see what he was going to say, then have a look at it and go, let's see how good he is.
The saber chooses the master, Dash. The wand chooses the wizard. Gonna fight so hard for Roger's saber tomorrow. I just hope that one actually arrives. Just please, no every, I beg. Yeah, fuck every, dude. Fuck every, honestly. Hate them. Is Skeleton Crew worth watching? Yeah, I mean, if you like something laid back and chill, of course. Why not?
I'd say it's worth watching.
I love it, dude. really went in with zero expectations, probably low expectations. So I'm pleasantly surprised. Like it's not just turn your brain off watching either, like I thought it would be. I am engaged. That's my endorsement.
It's a fun show. I think it's great. I think everyone would like it.
I'm surprised how much I'm enjoying it, just because when something is well made, it just proves that it transcends the demographic they're going for. Because even if it's for kids, I'm having a lot of fun.
Ray Saber. Oh yeah, I feel the renaming. Oh my god.
I think the first guest we should get in right now is Darth Melvin. Okay?
Sure. I think Rey's lightsaber is so impractical. Can't like the activation thing just slip at any time and just turn the lightsaber on? Because it's like a little flick. It's not like a firm button. I don't know. I'm probably put more thought into that than anyone on the planet.
What are you talking about?
Rey's lightsaber just randomly turning on, because doesn't it have that like switch?
You mean Luke's?
No, I'm talking about the one she makes at the end of 9.
That thing?
That thing.
Yeah.
I'd say that Luke's is probably, or Anakin's is probably the most impractical because of the big, the button with the power thing. Like that looks like, if I had a saber, I would just want something that really nothing gets in the way of both hands for a grip. I always look at them and go, I don't want just a cylinder of metal, but come on, like get shit out of the way of your hands in a fight.
Yeah. That's why I like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan's lightsaber hilt so much, because they're so practical. And that's because the actors selected those because they were the most practical.
Could you imagine? She's like has to turn it on right away, and it's like, and then she's already shot. Looking forward to George getting the IP back. Changed my mind on Darth Jar Jar. Qui-Gon is waving his hand like crazy in so many scenes. There's no way Jar Jar isn't doing the same thing. What do you mean waving his hand? Oh, you mean with the Force?
There's no way that's actually like. There's no way the Darth Jar Jar theory holds any truth to it, right? I mean, is there?
I don't know.
I thought it was 100%. Like there are hints.
You were sold on that?
I was sold on. I would have liked to have had it happen, just to crush many kids' dreams. Where they're like, "I love Jar Jar." Well, like, all right, we'll see. Episode 3. How much you love him now? He's ruined everything. No, I don't know. It's so hard because a lot of the theories, because of what they did with some content, as standalone theories make so much sense and so much fun. That's why we do it. But then you extrapolate it out to film and media, and you go, that probably would be whack if Palpatine's like, master, and Jar Jar's like on your knees, like it doesn't, hold water. But I think that there could be, like, if he was not the apprentice, but if he was a dark side user, I think there was signs he was duplicitous. Theories read something.
I read a super chat that was like from an old super chat. I read a message that was from an old super chat I totally forgot about. It was wild. If you saw it on screen for a second,
it would have definitely been wild to have a scene where you just hear Jar Jar talk like in a sinister voice, and it just catches the whole audience off guard. That would have been crazy to experience.
Bro, what plug just came out of my...
Ugh, I think you need that. Yeah, he was set dressing by episode 3. They didn't know what to do with him. That's why I thought maybe they were doing something, or maybe George recoiled from the episode 2 reaction. It's really hard to tell, you don't get a straight answer, and everybody's like, "Oh, I know George, and he was going to do X," but really, it's all conjecture.
So, how much do you think George maps out for others before he creates a Star Wars film? Or do you think it's just like the story is in my head, you follow my direction, and I will give you as much as necessary?
I think that he helmed the prequels, for better or worse, and that's where his weaknesses were shown when it came to dialogue, etc., etc. And whereas the original trilogy, I think he gave more creative control to people where he was weaker. I'm going to say something controversial. I don't really, I see George Lucas as like the creator, the god, if you will, of Star Wars. And he's created a universe that is a sandbox that has so much depth and breadth that anybody can come in with talent and make stories. And I don't really care if George is involved. I care about like the universe that he's made being broadened or maintained or explored, if that makes sense. So, because I'm an EU guy, I'm like, the more George adds, the more the EU mines and they make into great stories. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, you don't look at him as like necessarily the sole creator. He's more the conductor of the symphony that is Star Wars.
I think, yeah, like I said, like, you know, if there's a God in the universe and that we're living in it, there's still authors that live in said universe, but, you know, they pay deference to the God that created it in this metaphor, but the people who are writing the stories are using what he's given them. I think the reason why I got like that was because I didn't like episode 2 when it came out, etc., so much, and I loved episode 3, but I was like, I got so much good media. I got like the video games and the novels that I was like, it doesn't matter. George is just a man, but he's created something so much greater than himself that people can, you know, use to create so much great media and stories, etc. You good, Theory?
Yeah, it was from my Elgato. Like it was from my my PS5. So I can stream PS5 stuff. So I just have to plug it back in. It's no big deal. Do it later. I don't have enough money to purchase an arm. Wave said he doesn't like cosplay, so I've stopped doing it. Not related, but must poke it there.
Wave admitted before the stream
that
he regretted saying that he didn't like cosplay because people were just chewing him out. I'm like, thank God you didn't say anything about furries because they'll come for you. Like, I don't like cosplay. That's funny.
Do you think Kiadi is a mad rooter? 7 kids? Well, yeah, he had multiple wives.
Yeah.
Mad rooter.
Mad rooter. Yeah, that's a very Australian term. I appreciate that.
Sorry for saying that Theory Saber was BS. I was mad, but I completely understand. I still love you, Theory. Off topic, what 4 do you think the great work is? I don't remember you saying this. It's okay.
He slept last night.
What foe you think the great work is? I don't follow, J-Bach. Sorry. Star Wars isn't cooked. It's burnt to a crisp, then left on a hot plate since 2015, says Jaboys. Guys, whenever I get super chats, do you want me to read your guys' name always? Or are you cool if I just bring it on screen and how you feel about it? Because I realize sometimes, I was talking with Mahler about it a little while ago. And he's like, you and I are literally the only people I know that don't read people's names when you get super chats. So I guess it's just more of like a natural thing where we're just like talking to someone.
There's a reason probably not to on screen right now.
And then because I sometimes don't read the name. I just read what the message is. Anyways, are y'all the new Sith triumvirate? Stupendous Theory was already amazing, but now with Dash, it's even better. Happy to be here. My work shift is a whole lot easier being here with you guys. Much love. May the Force be with you. Yeah, we were talking about it off screen. We would actually extended the invitation for Dash if he has time to join us and officially become the 3rd part of this show.
Triumvirate. Yeah, I said
triumvirate.
I said, hey, can I be Kreia? And he said, no.
I'm
you don't
Kreia.
Get to pick. Yeah, me and Stupendous and Kreia. You're not Nihilus or Scion. I'm like, well, who am I?
I think I'm Scion. I'd be Scion.
Scion's so. I love the Scottish accent as a Sith is the greatest thing I've ever heard. I listen to his dialogue sometimes just in my downtime. I'm like, that's so cool.
I like him. I don't like how he goes out. I always thought that was like, come on, dude, really? You're gonna fall in love and get weak? Like
happens to every man, dude. What are you talking about?
I guess that's true.
You're the one that said that you watch Kung Fu Panda anytime you have a girlfriend.
Yeah,
dude, it's weakness. I gotta purge that.
Abeloth horror movie. Well, I guess from the rumors, Ahsoka season 2 most likely.
But we don't want that to be a horror movie. We want it to be Star Wars.
All right, let's bring some guests on. Okay, who's the first person who wants to come on the stream?
Stoops, while we're waiting, is it just me, or does like Ahsoka in her own show, did they like just hollow out her personality from her body compared to like Clone Wars or any other media? I was like, she seems so flat compared to normal.
Really? I was always thinking that the translation was really good, just like the older version and everything. I
Very
like,
stoic.
yeah, she is. I just take that as her being older though, and like, I don't know. I like Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. She sold me in Mando season 2 because I think her episode in Mando season 2 is incredible. And I love how she rolled up to that like citadel with she was manipulating like the fog around her. That felt so cool. No, I'm a fan of Rosario.
I sent it to Melvin. He hasn't seen it yet. Wish I had nerd friends like y'all. I feel alone. Well, you do. That's
what
this literally is. Yeah. So like in 2005, bro, I was looking through my old photos and stuff last night, dude. Check this out. Found this picture of myself when I was, I don't know, 15.
That's not the same person.
Yeah, dude, no that's way. Me. Yeah, that's me.
That's crazy.
I'm stunned.
Yeah.
Why are you stunned?
There's no bicep. There's no tricep formation.
No bicep. I was 15, bro. I was literally your typical like. I lived on the computer and like that was the Star Wars my life.
I just picture you as a kid as like literally you now, but small, like just a kid. You know, still buff. A bruiser.
No. I mean, no, like I was athletic, but I was like, I don't know what, skinny kid, just a skinny nerd, man.
Dude,
didn't really have any friends. Just
I was like such a fat nerd. Such a fat nerd. Yeah, it's hard. The reason I started YouTube is because I didn't have anyone to talk about Star Wars with. Just I was so excited for all the new stuff, and no one cared. But
that's true. That's absolutely true. I told my dad, I was like, I'm starting a channel. I'm going to do this. Do you watch YouTube? And he said, no, I have a life.
That's what your dad said.
It's so good.
Dude, my dad at Thanksgiving, he was like, I don't like the Spider-Man movies. I don't like when Spider-Man swings. And it's just like, what?
He sounds like an executive. That's like the guy that said, I don't want Superman to fly in his movie. It's like, you cooked.
That's what he does, man. That's what Spider-Man does.
He's going to take a cab downtown to meet, fight Dr. Octopus or like just run. Actually, him running in No Way, what was it? Homecoming was the worst thing ever. It was weird to watch him not swing for a little bit. I was like, oh, I don't like this at all. Your dad was like, this is the best part.
Yeah. Thank God he's running and he's not swinging.
Use those spider legs.
But he also said, he was like, I just really love the Star Wars sequels. Those are probably my favorite trilogy of Star Wars.
He's trolling you.
I don't think so. Because me and my dad and I, we don't talk about this stuff. I think he's being legit. He's like, the others just look too fake. It's like, dude, you hate all the things I love. Spider-Man swinging is like, brings me so much joy. He's an anomaly.
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard. I don't want him to swing.
Profi 3.9.
So what are your parents like, Theory? If you're open to talking about it, they're into any of this stuff?
Dude, they introduced me to Star Wars. Yeah.
Nice. My dad took me to Gold Class Cinema, which is like, where you can order food. I've never been to that before, for episode 3. And I bought it on DVD as soon as it came out, and I watched it like 4,000 times. I remember I got dumped, and that's all I had at life. Like I had one DVD and it was just episode 3 for a while. I just watched it over and over, crying with Anakin on Mustafa.
I don't know if I spent more time watching the behind the scenes or the movies itself. Anyways, the answer to this is yes. We will be switching to Profi 3.9 in 2025. Surprised you know about this.
Chandler's on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Star Wars. My grandpa showed me Star Wars, and he just loved those movies. He loved John Wayne movies. He loved Jaws. He just the golden era, and he's the one that was like, these movies are amazing, dude. And he passed away not too long ago, but you know, I owe a lot of my love for Star Wars and movies for him. So
Sorry
I
to hear
had
that.
someone.
Grandparents are the best.
Dude, they are the best. He was such a good dude. He was like, he's a Marine, but just like the sweetest man ever. I love him. But I think it's cool. We all get into Star Wars in a lot of ways through others that we love, that they appreciated it first, and they get to share it with us. And I haven't quite found anybody that latches onto it like I have, but you know, that's why we have shows like this where we can talk to others who got that spark.
You got me. Move over, Jimmy Olsen. A new sheriff's in town.
There's something about those original trilogy movies that's just so special. It's like, for me, they were always there. So Star Wars was as precious as like history itself was. It's just so cool. And you had friends that liked it, but did they really like it? Like they bought the toys, but did they know, like, did they read any books? And it was like, not really.
Yeah, I used to try and explain it to people, and I remember I had a friend who was like a jock because my friends weren't, into that stuff, and I was like, and I played Jedi Outcast, and then I bowed before I commenced a duel, and he was like, "Shut the F up," and I'm like, okay. All right, I'm just gonna push this all down and start a YouTube channel in 10 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Push it all down.
Yeah.
Let it eat me.
I think that's what I really like about the two of you guys, is that creating a channel wasn't like a form of just something to do, like lucrative wise. It's just like you were just doing what you were doing originally, but just on a different platform. And then yeah, you started to turn it into a career. But before that, it was pure fan intentions. I think that's something I always. It's weird, like when I started, there wasn't anyone trying to, at least that I saw, like make money off of talking about Star Wars. And then now it's like, it's changed so much. I would say ever since probably after episode 9, once the shows came out, I think Star Wars became extremely mainstream. And I feel like it invited a lot of different opportunities for people to, like TikTok, and it just completely changed. The community is so much bigger now. And I don't know how I feel about it. I feel it's like, it's great to have a lot of different people in there that love it, but then I feel like you can tell which people are just fake as shit. And for me, it's great to be able to collaborate with guys that are old school, and yeah. So
the funny thing is though, I enjoy it too. I'm sorry to cut you off, but something I've realized about franchises, and I think you'll both agree, is that when we were kind of misfits in our love, like really chewing into it, I used to wish, man, I wanted to tell the story so that other people could enjoy what I enjoy, And then when it finally happens and these big corporations swallow up these companies and they turn them into franchises, and then they try and appeal to literally everyone, which I think that is the biggest, like Star Wars is the victim of Disney trying to appeal so broadly that they appeal to no one. And then you, like you said, it's so homogenized that you just like all these people that you couldn't call fans because they're fans of things that are just so broad, like, you know what I mean? It's so broad. You just like, I wish this didn't become so mainstream because it hits this ceiling where it's just corporate.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't love the thing that you fell in love with. Like Star Wars as an entirety is different to the point now where it's an unrecognizable product compared to what I fell in love with. And so when you have people that sincerely enjoy that part and that's not really where your love is, you can definitely have a divide there. Because I like the books. I like the Jedi, the old Jedi, ancient Sith lore, and it doesn't seem like that's how new people interpret the Sith, I guess. Is a nice way of putting that.
Yeah. For me, I was crazy about the first 6 films. That's what, like, I think I've read every book that has to do with those first 6 films. and the making of and the art and the everything. I'm enthralled by them. I find it so fun.
I think that's cool too, because back in the day, like the original trilogy in the books is still my Star Wars, which is why we can all come on here and connect, because we all love the films, but we all just connect with parts of the bigger tapestry. But because of the time when we started, it was still Star Wars. And that's why when we come together now, it's not talking about this sort of Disney era, if you will. It's about, what George made and then what the writers made under George's guidance.
Well, that's the thing, man. It's unfortunate the fact that it's like now it's so divided in the sense where it's not about George Lucas Star Wars anymore. We're talking about garbage that's being made by a corporate entity that's, not what it once was. And it's frustrating because it's like I just want to talk about I remember the first few years of the channel that was like probably the most pure because it was, none of the tarnished stuff had come out yet in the sense of like okay, we had Last Jedi and then we had Rise of Skywalker, which originally I liked, but simply due to the fact that it shit on episode 8, which really angered me, and I was like major copium with that film. And then we got like all those shows and stuff, and it's like it's just created so much division because it's just strayed away from feel like George's feel and vision in entirety. But I think more so what I like, and I was talking to Roger today, he said, Skeleton Crew's not bad. He's like, it kind of feels like this is somewhat of what George would have done. And I'm like, yeah, what kind of is. It's like adventure. It's got that plot point in there that George would have probably wanted. But for the most part, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for something to really feel like Star Wars again. I think the closest we ever got to that was probably the ending of Mando season 2.
Rogue One was pretty.
Rogue One was Star Warsy.
I think though, and maybe I'm wrong in this assertion, but if there was a through line, like main media that was very, it doesn't have to be George, but Star Warsy. Let's call it Star Warsy. If we had enough content, because it is a universe where we as fans, we're still catered to it somewhat. I don't think that we would even notice things like, what was it, Forces of Destiny, that silly cartoon. We wouldn't even talk about it if there was media more for us. Like there was so much, but instead, like you said, they're focused on this weird corner, and that it's like this now. It's like looking through the universe through a keyhole, which I like to say. It's not broad anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not. But look, man, it's so confusing because it's like I've seen Stuart Beattie's treatment for the Kenobi trilogy, and it's like I know that they can hire the right person, but for some reason they do, and then they let them go. Like Colin Trevorrow's script for Episode 9, which a lot of us have read online, it's free, and you've seen the concept art, is miles better than the shit that we got with Episode 9. And it's like they choose the right guy, they get his version of stuff, and then they just leave it. They just fire them.
Yeah, that part's crazy. I don't even know how they justified that internally. I don't know if they were like, we don't think Kenobi is a proven box office blockbuster. Let's start with streaming, or what the heck happened. But the thing that shocks me about Kenobi, beyond just how small the script was in comparison to other shows, but also just like how they haven't addressed it. It's one of the most viewed Disney Plus shows of all time, and they just don't talk about it, and they don't seem interested in making a second season, and that's just confusing for me as well.
I mean, you guys have done, I assume, ads for YouTube where you've gone, okay, I like this product, and I'm happy to do like a 30-second spiel on that or whatever. And you've worked with a company that the money men like really, they control it. And you're like, you have no idea what my audience wants. They're going to hate this. I'm not going to do this. I feel like that Disney, instead of, the creator being in control, it's the money men. And so all these creatives do all this cool stuff. And then these corporate dickheads with check boxes just go, nah, and then we get, they hit that ceiling, and it's just, if they're the be all and end all at the moment, not the creatives.
The thing about ads is that, I mean, I'm sure all of us have been hit up by companies to peddle their stuff, but personally speaking, I've done ads for only stuff that I have actual use for, like Audible, and Lego. And I think there were a couple others. But besides that, man, like, they just want you to peddle their shit. They don't care about your audience. They're just using you at the end of the day. They're using you to peddle their product. And if their stuff doesn't align with you or your values or your audience, then you're just getting a bag, which is fine, I guess. But that's not how I wanted to operate. And, to my community, I could have made a lot of money there were some ads, there were some cannabis companies and what's the word, lottery, what's the word, casino, gambling companies that were offering high six figures to do ads when Star Wars was really hot, like Mando and this and that, and I turned it down. I'm like, no, I don't believe in if anyone wants to go do that, they can do that on their own. Like, I'm not going to peddle that or act like, and the money would have been great, but it's just not what people come here for. And I don't want the channel to be advertising shit that I don't want to introduce to my audience. So
6 figures, I would have done it as Watto's Casino. Watto's Casino! Hey, I'm so down. No, I've done 10, literally probably less than 10 in all the years, and they've offered me money or sent me crap. They send you. So the weirdest thing is, when I first started, because nobody knew what they were doing, one company sent me like Lay's chips, like 3 boxes, and said, you don't have to do anything, but if you wanted to tweet about it, that would be great. And I was like, I'm just going to eat these chips. Like, what? No. But no, I've only done a handful because I just don't, I'm not that guy. But I get what you mean. Some people do it really well, but it's just, it's not me. I don't use a lot of stuff. I'm not like I guess I am a consumer. I buy stuff, but not like, there's people that seem to always just buy shit, and so they're perfect for it. That's not me.
Yeah. No, I know, especially like, because we do have literally Star Wars audiences. If Lucasfilm turns them down, we're like the next best choice.
Oh, I didn't even think of it like that. That's true.
Yeah. Well, think of it. Yeah, I mean, it's like, you want to cater to a Star Wars audience. You advertise with Lucasfilm, and if they have very strict rules, so who's the next best option? It's your biggest Star Wars content creator or whatever. Yeah. So you go to them, and man, personally speaking, I get hit up with deals every single day. I just ignore it. I know you guys get the same.
Most of them are just, it's so hard to tell now what's a scam too, because a lot of them are trying to get information from you and just trying to get into your account. But all those gambling ones, I just deleted those. It's just, that's so bad for you, in my opinion. Obviously, people are adults, but in my opinion, gambling is not something that I want to promote to my audience.
No. Anyways, let's get some guests on. So who has a good topic in the chat? We'd love you to comment. A good topic to discuss. Maybe it changed my mind. And we can find you on Twitter and send you the link. And you can come on for a few minutes, and then we can maybe go to the next guest.
Let's go, guys. It's your time.
It's your time to shine, baby. It's time to have a good conversation. So let's see. Let's scan the chat.
What do you guys want to see talked about? I don't want to see easy ones either. Not like,
while we get that, I'm gonna catch up with this.
Pick topics that you guys think may be divisive.
Yo, guys, been watching the channel for a while. What do you think Luke's Sith name would have been if he killed Vader and joined Palpatine during Return of the Jedi?
Great question.
What's like the Latin word for son?
Probably would have been prodigal son.
That's clever. I would have just done Luke with 2 U's, like the EU.
Dude, I don't know how to pronounce that. I've heard people call, that's what I've said, but I've heard people call it La'auk, or it's just
Luke.
La'auk. Yeah, dude, I've heard that.
I am La'auk. I'm here to destroy you. Ahsoka should have died in Rebels Season 2. It would have made more sense as to why she wasn't in the OT and close any continuity holes. She's too overused. Boys, if you can keep an eye on chat, if anything pops out at you while I read these super chats and get caught up.
Absolutely.
Keep it in mind.
Filius, by the way. Filius
I
is
just
the
looked that
word.
up too. That's such a terrible Sith name. Darth
Filius?
Yeah, Darth Filius.
You feeling this?
You can see the speculation or rumor started via Lateef Crowder's IG that Pedro filmed scenes the other day for Mando and Grogu movie. No. The new Roger Christian Origin Saber. Does he sign the hilt? I'm considering, but I don't want to buy something I can't play with. I wouldn't. It would be a shame to. No, it's signed on a plaque. If you've seen the videos or the emails, or the one email or the Instagram posts, you'll see it's a signed plaque. So we have two. We have the laser etched signature, and then we also have the handwritten signature. We have both. Watch the unboxing video. You'll see everything that you need to see and that comes with it. But no, this is so it's a collectible. I bet you most people will just display it, but it also has working electronics and it has all of our exclusive stuff in there. So it's the best of both worlds. Luke vs. Cadus, Inferno was peak, although brief.
Don't mess with Grandmaster Luke.
I'd pay for an animation style NJO FOJ. I just finished my first NJO novel.
What'd you think? Which one?
I already forgot the name.
Appropriate for those books.
Yeah, literally. It's the one where we're introduced to the Yuzon Vong. The first. Oh God. What's the name of the freaking? What's the name of the first one? God damn it.
Trying to find it.
Vector Prime. Right.
Oh, chat had it.
But the problem was I listened to the abridged audiobook, which is not really the full book. It was like 3 hours something long, but the whole book is like 400 something pages. I don't know why they have the abridged version.
Where'd you listen to it?
Audible.
No, but like I love like walking or driving, and those audiobooks are the best.
Walking audiobooks are king.
I was doing it while I was taking photos for the new Saber.
Nice.
Yeah. So probably need to give it a second listen through, but the abridged version, like I referred to the book and I'm like, there's so much that they're cutting out here. So it's like, how much am I really getting?
Yeah. I just looked it up. There's 19 New Jedi Order books.
Yeah, I have them all.
Oh.
I have them all. Haven't read them yet. Have you read them?
Not all of them, no.
Yeah.
Trying to find the
cool.
Abeloth ones.
It kind of feels like this is where they should have started the sequel trilogy. 22 years after Return of the Jedi. It's all about Han and Leia's kids. Luke and Mara Jade are married. Mara's suffering from like a disease. She's like sick, but the Yuzon Vong are doing this to her. And the first book is essentially, the abridged version of it is essentially just kind of like an introduction to who the Yuzon Vong are and how they have their like own army and how the Force doesn't work on them. And they're like all very surprised. Like Mara Jade was fighting one of them, and she's like, "Okay, this doesn't make sense because the Force literally doesn't work on this guy."
Yeah, the Vong are interesting. I'm waiting for Disney to introduce them and ruin them.
Well, it's good to actually read the original lore from them. Well, I guess listen to it. But yeah, so the first one's done. Has anyone here listened to the abridged version and read the full book? Can you tell me the differences between the abridged and the book?
Can you imagine Disney doing it? It'll be like, everything else, where they do like some live action thing where the Vong are the misunderstood, the villains are actually the good guys. These pain freaks that can't feel the Force, they're all torn up. They'll be like, the Jedi did this to us. The Jedi are the real bad guys. Oh,
Yeah,
they'll do that too.
They would just ruin it, man.
It would be so funny.
That's what they did in the Acolyte. No one hates Jedi more than the Acolyte.
No one hates Jedi more than Disney.
Yeah, true. Why? Okay.
Wow. Yeah. No one
Don't ask why.
Do they
I
even
only read the book
Sith?
many years ago. Back in 2015 or so, that is. No idea they are still there. No, yeah, I bought all of them like freaking 8 months ago, 7 months ago, something like that, and haven't had time to actually read them.
Yeah, it's a substantial series. I mean, 19 books, and the small abridged version of one book is 3 hours. Like, holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it flew by, but I mean...
That's a lot to absorb. That's a lot of just story to absorb.
Well,
Do you know who read it? Was it Mark Thompson?
I can't remember. I gotta...
He reads everything. Because there was one point where I swear I had nearly legit every single audiobook of Star Wars that was out. And that was probably 8 years ago when I listened to them all. They're all rattling in my head, the full books, because of that. It was so good. I love audiobooks so much.
This guy's voice.
Something had guided him in here. Something had beckoned to him, promising him a better battlefield against the...
That's not Thompson. I know him, though. Is it Jonathan Davis or something? I forget his name. Some of those old school narrators are so funny.
Let's see.
I remember the first time they were calling it Coruscant back with the 90s one, the Exar Kun one, but they called him, he's like, hello, Exar Kun.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Coruscant.
Star Wars New Jedi Order Legends Abridged Book 1. Narrated by...
Same guy that did iJedi. I'll put money on that. I know that much. Let me look that up.
It's a Random House Audio release date, February 2007. Yeah, but the... Yeah, see, everyone's complaining in the reviews that it's abridged. They're like, I could not find an unabridged version, so I settled on this abridged. A bit disappointed, but I brought that upon myself. In any case, not bad. I'll continue and probably do the rest of the audio abridged, NJL as well. We'll probably go back and read the actual novels again to see what was missed. Yeah, fuck.
Anthony Heald?
It doesn't even say. I don't know what the deal is. Why is it not saying who the... Oh, narrated by Anthony Heald. Yep. You got it.
There's only like 3 main guys. They probably got paid like $12 back in 2007 and they did all the voices and stuff. I feel so bad for them. Yeah,
dude. It's unfortunate. But it's like, why do the abridged? Like, I guess these books are not popular enough. Not many people know about them.
Yeah.
Ryan told me about these. Like, I had seen these when I was a teenager, but I'm not going to say I read them, but I mean, I had a few of them and I would like read through it a little bit and then just put it down.
Star Wars is just vast.
I just
that's the thing.
care about the first 6 films. I don't know. That was always like my bread and butter. And then anything that like was a book close to that, like let's say Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader, really enjoyed that. Plagueis, anything that surrounds the main characters. I feel like I really care about those.
See, I love the ancient histories of Star Wars.
Yeah, you're big into that. Yeah.
I like going all the way back and figuring out how things got the way that they were. And, like the Sith pure-blooded species are fascinating because they're not an evil people group. They're just, tribalistic. And I love how, Jedi ideals changed the Sith into something that maybe they weren't supposed to become and that they're now so much worse because of the folly of old Jedi. That's the stuff I like philosophy around Force-based or religion.
Did you ever read the graphic novels for the Old Republic with Zane Carrick as the main character?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good.
Those are good. Yes. Is that am I thinking of like Is that a part of the same group of Lucy and Dre and all that?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And they said he was like Scion for a second, and then they were like, "That's not Darth Scion," and then it turns out he wasn't Scion. But that Lucy and Dre, him straying because he saw a Force vision. For people that don't know, there was an order of small collective of Jedi, and there was a seer, so sees the future, and she sees that the Padawans that they're training are actually going to ruin the Republic, so they have to kill them. And one kid gets away, and it's just him running from fully trained master. Imagine your master kills all your mates, and he's the weakest in the Force, but he's really strong in Force, like luck. It's the weirdest skill, and he's just on the run, and they're hunting him with these amazing skills. It was a great series. So was Griff, the the grifter side character as well.
The reveal of who the actual villain is in that story is great too.
Hazan was his name?
Yeah. I always pronounce it Hazen in my videos. But
I never hear it. So isn't it funny how you'll read it in your head, then you say it out loud, and someone will be like, idiot. And I'll be like, oh, well, I've never heard the word. So you just
you're telling me, dude. Yeah, every day. Every day I'll say something and they're just like, it's not pronounced like that. For years, and this is just not knowing the word and being lazy, I called the executor the executor.
Right.
And just
biggest crime ever. You need to give up your Star Wars card.
I should give it up.
Crawl into a hole.
But the amount of people that just will attack you for that one little mistake is
makes them feel big.
Yeah, it's like you don't know anything. I'm trying, guys.
Not good enough.
Check that out.
Mama mia.
Oh, that's sexy. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Well, is that all of the comics?
It's all of them. I had them individually.
All of them, bro.
All right, I know what my Christmas present to me is.
It's the omnibus.
One of the greatest.
Yeah. Like everything is in there.
I didn't love that the art style switched a little bit, though. I don't know if it happened.
Switch, yeah.
And I was like, it feels a little bit too far from the start.
Yeah, but, then you go this, and then it's like a little more crisp.
Oh, there's Ulick. Oh, I love Ulick when he fought Mandalore, and Mandalore cheated. He like had everything going in his favor, but Ulick won anyway. Who's that?
Is that? It's not a head up Malik. I can't tell because the art style changed. I'm like, no. Is it? What was that torturer's name? The Mando torturer. Is a real bastard.
I'm forgetting. Those books are incredible, though.
They're incredible.
Some of the best Star Wars comics ever.
If you want an omnibus, like it's a one-stop shop. They're very expensive, but it's all in one. I mean, this is just volume 1, dude. It's just volume 1. But I mean, it's got everything in there.
Star Wars comics sort of fell off too, didn't they? They were really good for a minute.
I stopped covering them.
What is it? Is there any particular story that caused you to do it, or was it like a gradual thing?
I remember
there was.
Yeah, no. Once they started to cover Vader in between, was it 4 and 5 or 5 and 6? I just thought it started to get a little too goofy,
muddled.
Yeah, it was too much. This wouldn't happen to Vader. They started to make Vader look like an absolute bitch, and I just wasn't enjoying it.
I'm trying to in between 5 and 6. What is like going on there? Is that where Palpatine's on Exegol? What?
No, it was none of that. It was about 3 years ago, I think, was the last time I really covered it, or something around there. But essentially, Vader lost, like Palpatine stripped Vader of all of his limbs or something, and then he like forced him to go to, I think it was Mustafar. And I remember covering it in the video, and he like put on like a super battle droid's foot as like his leg, and like put a bunch of like random ass parts together to like just kind of survive. And he was like forced to not use the Force. Palpatine was like, "You cannot use the Force." And I was like, "Okay, this is kind of cool." But then like all these bounty hunters come, and then they would just sort of. It was just like he just was not the powerful Vader, and like I guess they were trying to tell the story of him like becoming more powerful, but it's like he's already there. He's already at that point. Like this shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
He's
I
already
remember that.
past all those trials. Like this is, like Vader's almost going to die at this point in the next few years. Like this isn't really making sense.
Well,
They're always hot
so-
for that too. You know what we should do this time? We should have Vader get in a fight. He loses. His helmet comes off and he gets battle damage,
Yeah.
but he doesn't die 47 times. And you're like, come on, bro, stop doing that.
Yeah,
It's a
and
cheap
he has
trick.
to like fight his way back through means without using the Force, and then he's victorious, and then it happens all over again. It's like, okay, dude, fuck.
For
Do you
me,
remember when he fought Maul?
Yeah,
in Legends, yeah.
That
The clone
one
of Maul.
moment, or when he goes, "What can you hate enough to destroy me?" and Vader stabs through himself and says, "Myself." I love that. I was like, "Ooh,
yeah,
get it."
fuck.
That's
See, like
awesome.
that's someone who gets Vader and understands him, but like these new writers, I don't know. I think they're so limited to the point of just like, okay, make established character lose his powers to subvert expectations, lose his abilities, and then he has to refine himself and rebuild himself in some sort of a heroic way, which is so relatable. Yes, but I mean, how many times are you going to do that to a character who's already gone through that process so many times? At that point, it's
And-
just lazy.
The most powerful version is obviously a son's love and his son throwing away his lightsaber. That is the most powerful version of the story, and everything else is kind of degrading it. I agree. Like that is the most potent version. You can't do it 47 times and think, oh wow, let's put him in what those cool Fallen Order Jedi games and have a random beat him. Like no,
Yeah. No, so I just stopped supporting it entirely. I was just like, nah, I'm not going to cover this.
I always loved, in Legends and in my own headcanon, that Vader is supposed to be at the apex of his power after episode 5, because he's supposed to have left the failings of Anakin behind because he has an opportunity to establish a bigger, stronger future with Luke, and that motivates him. And that allows him to transcend a lot of the issues that he had for the last, 20 odd years, even though Vader is still, the Terminator before that. But episode 5 Vader is the strongest he is in my mind because of that fact.
Yeah. I found the unabridged on YouTube. There's a channel who actually did it. I don't know how they didn't get shut down yet, but I wasn't too. I didn't like the voice. It was just not. I didn't enjoy it. So I was like, after about 20 minutes, I was like, I can't listen to this. Please don't go down the dark path of hating the Clone Wars and Dave because Ryan and Mahler told you to. It's so sad to learn my favorite child series has been hated by some Star Wars fans, ex-EU purists. Well, first of all, to assume that anyone would be able to influence me is, I mean, you don't really know me then at that point. I'm a lone wolf in that sense where if I like something, I like it, and if I don't, I don't on my own accord. I don't hate the Clone Wars, so I don't know where that's coming from either. My feelings towards Dave Filoni are mixed now after The Acolyte. After season 3 of Mandalorian and The Acolyte. So, yeah, kind of literally sitting on the fence with Dave. It could go one way or the other. I don't really know anymore. Where it was once, all the way like, oh no, this guy is the savior, to now kind of like, well, I'm questioning, because we still have so many good things he created. So it's like, we know he can make good stuff, but then now it's at the point where it's like, okay, one time, all right, we'll let it pass. 2 times The Acolyte. The Acolyte was the worst thing I think that ever freaking happened. Ever. I think it is worse than The Last Jedi, to be honest. So it's, to me, it's like, how can that get approved? And the politics and the agenda and all the bullshit behind it, and calling the fans racist if they don't like it, and this, that, and the other thing. And the doubling down of that. I mean, I just think that they really need to assess their values as a person and realize that, hey, maybe people just don't like something because it's shit. It's not really anything deeper than that.
It's not rocket science. People don't like the Acolyte because they didn't like it. I mean, that should be where it stops. But I'm gonna agree with you. I think the Acolyte is far worse than The Last Jedi. Far worse.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to say something that may be controversial, but I'm going to throw it out there.
Get ready to kick him, dude.
Love cosplayers. Stupendous. I love them. No, because I was already I was like 18 in 2003. Clone Wars didn't appeal to me as much as I think as if I was a kid. I recognized how good it is, but once, like when Rebels came out as well, I knew that it was going to be 20% slower than I would like as an adult, because they have to slow these things down. I've tried to watch like Spider-Man, the animated series, where that Spider-Man won't stop swinging, and it's so hard to watch now because it's a lot slower. So I try and change the lens, but I found the Clone Wars was very hit and miss. It was almost like Dave was trying to please everybody. He'd do like a dark episode, a light episode. And I was actually told by a cast member that they did that on purpose because they didn't want to freak kids out by going too heavy. But imagine all the weight of all the fans being like, you need to make adult Star Wars. And then Disney being like, you need to make it appeal to everybody. You know what I mean? I feel bad for him. Clone Wars is good, but also it is a little choppy if you go back and watch it. Like, it's great in a lot of moments. It's more good than bad, but it isn't like, the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And that's why for me, the first 6 is number 1. That's why, you can call me a George Lucas purist, I suppose. I've been called that in some sort of a condescending way, but yeah, it's true, I suppose. The first 6 films always hold. First 6 films are all George sees as canon, and and the Clone Wars, but that's it, really. Everything outside of that is just legends.
Clone Wars is a thing I grew up with, so I got into it before I knew the difference between, a good show and a bad show. But, as I got older, I appreciated that the show got more serious, especially after the second season, when they brought Maul back, because I got to sort of grow up with that. So the first few seasons for the Clone Wars are really nostalgic for me. But I agree that, if Filoni is the guy, you shouldn't have things like the Acolyte coming out. I would assume if you asked Lucasfilm, that they would say that the Acolyte falls under the banner of quote unquote adult Star Wars.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have like sexual themes in it,
which is just shocking because.
Well, what do you expect from Leslie, right?
I don't know. I didn't know what to expect, man. That's the worst part about it is it got worse every week. I felt
it did. It was unfortunate.
I didn't hate the first 2 episodes, but the first 2 episodes aren't revealing their hand. It's almost like they're not being completely sincere about what they're gonna, what their plan is. And then you get to episode 3 and it's just like, that's why Disney does 2 episode premieres and not 3 episode premieres.
But yeah, because if they had put 3 into that first, dude, it would have been dead on arrival. Like, nobody would have given the time of day for the next week. At all.
Episode 3 of The Acolyte it's terrible. I don't know if it's the worst episode. It might be, but it's terrible.
Mm-hmm. Most lightsaber replicas are LED blade attachments. The only retractable lightsabers only are the power saber and the old Hasbro sabers that sticks out. Yeah. Yeah, those ones that you have to fold in.
That's what I grew up with. I love those things.
Me too.
It got me in so much trouble.
JJ plagiarisms implied George messed up his greatness by creating the Clone Wars. What is your guys' take on that comment? I think it's ridiculous. No, I don't think anything could mess up George's greatness for the first 6 films, because they're done. No one can change them. And that's something that George had in the contract, that they can't be changed. Those first 6 films when he signed to Disney, which is great. So I think it was especially the 4th one. Episode 4 is the one he said particularly cannot be altered. What do I think of the comment? George messed up his greatness by creating No, I don't think so. I don't agree with that. What do you think, guys?
There's too much pressure put on. That's the type of comment that makes somebody hesitate to create And that's so unfortunate. It's like, oh, if you create, you're going to mess up this great thing that you did earlier. That's just not fair. And I don't think that should be how it's approached, especially not Star Wars. So I can't believe that JJ said that. I'd have to read it or see it, but that's pretty dastardly.
That's just an opinion. That's just
right. It's
but you're playing in that sandbox. You got to respect the man, or at least that's how I would never say anything like that.
Any creation, I think that if you critique something, it's so easy to critique with hindsight. Anybody who creates something, it's so much more potent than just critiquing it, though critiquing is obviously important. So I find it strange that they're both playing in the sandbox and that he would say, that about someone else when he knows how hard it is to put yourself out there. I think that's strange to me.
I didn't know it was a YouTuber. I thought plagiarism was like a derogatory towards Abrams. I guess he's a YouTuber. Oh yeah, no, then he can have his opinion. I was under the assumption that JJ Abrams. Yeah, and
so was I.
No, yeah, it's a YouTuber. All right, what I said. Have your opinion.
And me.
I thought it was Abrams that said that.
Oh, yeah, like Abrams is out here being like episode 9 is the shit. And George Lucas needs to go back to the Clone Wars and rethink his life.
He didn't like the prequels, so.
JJ Abrams didn't like the prequels?
No.
They really shouldn't say that stuff. Like, just I think that's just some things you keep to yourself. Just don't do that.
That line that he put in The Force Awakens where he says this should make things right again or whatever is like a nod to taking it back to the original trilogy because the prequels messed up everything.
By remaking the original trilogy with Rey instead of Luke.
Yes, essentially. Yeah. I know. It's crazy. Jedi Apprentice's book was top tier Jude Watson. The prequels should be remade with practical effects only like the OGs and a new story. New timeline, change my mind.
That's a pretty good question, actually. Like a pretty good topic, I think.
Oh, I'm going to blow your mind here, Red Bear. The prequels were actually, they incorporated more practical effects and models than the original trilogy.
I think the idea of remake and Star Wars should just sort of not exist.
No.
I think Star Wars, be it the prequels or the originals, I love them just the way they are, and I don't want them tampered with.
Mm-hmm. But you'll get it in 5 years with AI. You'll be like, okay, put on episode 1, except make it more practical effects, and every character's Jar Jar. Clap, clap, and then it'll just happen.
Every character's Jar Jar.
Yeah.
3 Jar Jars dueling each other. Actually, exactly. That sounds sick.
They're all pointing to each other like Spider-Man. Yeah. There's a YouTube channel called Hidden Gems, and they have most Star Wars audiobooks using AI. Pronunciations on names are all right as well. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Would be interesting to see what Lord and Miller's solo movie would have been. Also would have been cool to see Jabba's gangster movie that was rumored. Yeah. The Jabba movie would have been fun. For sure. Thanks.
And Lord and Miller's too. They're pretty funny with like 21 Jump Street. You go, what would they have done with Solo? And what scared Disney so much that they shit canned it so hard? And you couldn't, again, they don't talk about the projects. It's like they just go into the abyss and you can never know what happened at all.
Yeah.
You just know that they were pushing the boundaries with that. Because that was an early exit. I mean, early on in like Disney's acquisition of Star Wars. So they must have been. I bet it was great. I'll just leave it at that.
Vader Comics lost me when they introduced the Eye of the Webbish Bog. What the F is that thing? Made no sense. Also, did you guys watch Shogun? Sick fucking show. You know, I actually like the Eye of the Webbish Bog. I thought it was much more interesting. Do you guys know about this?
Yeah, isn't that a concept from Colin Trevorrow's script that was adapted?
No, it's from freaking JJ's, dude.
It's from JJ's?
Yeah, it's supposed to be from sorry. Yes, it is. No, it's not Colin Trevorrow. It was supposed to be in Rise. It's from JJ.
Huh.
Which one was the one where he's on Mustafar? Yes, it's 9. Okay, yeah. So yeah, he's on Mustafar, and there was a scene where they actually filmed it, where they had this massive thing come out of the lava, and with this like little. It was like a giant baby pig head or something, and there was like this alien spider creature on top of it controlling it, and it was supposed to like either let Kylo go through or not go through, and then in the comics, Vader was also face to face with this oracle or creature or whatever it was in order to get the coordinates for Exegol, which they later, obviously wrote in to make it make sense. But yeah, it was like I think that would have made that scene a little more heavy in the film.
Eerie, sort of
Yeah.
disorienting, like, but because I do love for large, force sensitive, obscure creatures like the Bendu. Like, I'm a fan of the Bendu because he's like ill-defined. I know a lot of people don't like it, but those concepts in Star Wars I dig a lot. Didn't Colin have one where it was like Palpatine's master was supposed to be there for real? Something
Here.
akin to that?
Here
I like the design.
Yeah. So you're supposed to be this guy. That's the actual. They created this thing and they shot it, and that's how it was supposed to be in the movie.
Just a creature siphoning off the energy of another eerie creature.
Yeah. And it's like supposed to like let him in or not. And like Vader has like visions of this thing. It's like first Anakin, then it's Luke, then it's Sidious, and in the comics. So there were like cool parts of this, but for some reason they cut it out. I don't know why. I think it would have been really neat.
Yeah, it would have been neat. It would have been different too.
Yeah. Oh well. What can you do? I have two parents who are both female and lesbian. I have a lot to say about the Acolyte forcing a certain agenda, and I hate it for poor writing script. Oh, thanks for sharing that, B-Man.
Yeah, don't watch the Skeleton Crew, dude.
Do a watch party of the Ewok movies. No. Theory. Didn't get my free saber today. So email. Possible to get your help, please. No. We took your money and we're never sending it out. Goodbye. I'm just kidding. No, it's backed up probably, but I'm sure customer support will help you out. They're always there. We'll answer anything you have a question about, including your order update. Okay, so who are we bringing on? I feel like I keep going around in circles. Someone said Maria should come on. That wouldn't be bad. Maria, do you want to come on? Mariana, sorry. Anybody? How often do you use your in-home theater? Geez, I used to use it a lot. When I keep saying I haven't had time. I haven't had time to really do anything enjoyable. Well, doing the sabers and stuff is enjoyable, but I mean, it's like there's just so much to be done where it's trying to fit in a whole bunch of other stuff with life. But I think tonight will be probably a good night to sit down and maybe chill a little bit.
What would you say is like the best viewing experience you've had there that wasn't Star Wars? Like, what's a movie that just hits on your home theater?
Troy,
Gladiator,
Last Samurai. But those are my favorite movies. So,
have you ever seen
actually any Western?
Any Western?
No Country for Old Men was really good on there.
Yes, I freaking love that movie.
Young Guns was fun. Yeah.
Have you ever seen There Will Be Blood?
No.
It's really good.
Drainage.
Yes, Dash. Do you like that? Do you like that movie?
I watch YouTube clips on it just to like up myself. With it. It's so good.
It is. I think that it has the best performance of all time in it.
Of all time, Daniel Day-Lewis never misses.
If you like No Country for Old Men theory, you will like There Will Be Blood a lot. It's like slow and it's so freaking good.
Okay.
They were filming the same time, There Will Be Blood and No Country for Old Men, and they had to shut down filming for a week for No Country because of all the fires from the oil that they were burning for There Will Be Blood.
Really?
Isn't that cool? Yeah, they were both filming in South California, I think.
I'm loving the chat. I abandoned my boy.
I abandoned my child. I abandoned my son.
I know it's
I'm
not
so sorry,
how the
Theo.
Jedi achieved immortality, but if Luke tried to come back in a cloned body, would it work? I always assumed Palpatine's clone was decrepit because of dark side corruption. Yeah, but that's the thing. Is so with Plagueis, he thought essence transfer was not really true immortality. He thought it was bullshit. So it hardly worked. It only worked sometimes. You have to do everything super right. Otherwise, everyone would just be transferring their essence into the next body.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's the cool thing about the Sith is it's like they really only want one thing, but in the way that the universe itself is structured, that's the one thing they can never get, no matter how much power they wield. Beautiful.
I always laugh at his profile picture.
No,
We have a criticism to Stupendous Wave.
hit me.
All right. Do y'all think that Stupendous Wave's content is made for normies with clickbait titles? Example, why Jedi hate this one lightsaber?
Yeah, but my first thought is which lightsaber, which is exactly what it's meant to do.
Yeah, well, do you want to answer that, and then I'll give my take on it as a YouTuber?
Yeah, I mean, Dash, say less. That's kind of where I'm operating from.
Yeah, I mean, the point I would say as a YouTuber is to obviously get you to click. If you don't click, then, well, close up shop. No one's watching. But with that, it's do you want them to return next time? And the only way to do that is to make sure it's not clickbait and to make sure that it's a video that is worth their time. And it's, the title is indicative of what the video is going to be about. So if it's, why Jedi hate this one lightsaber and it's all about, I don't know, like roses and how, plantation is great. I don't know.
I thought you said meant Rose from the film, so I'm like, go on. What's he talking about, Rose?
No, then it's like, what the fuck? But if it's about that, then I mean, well, the point is to be intriguing. It's a title, it's a headline. It's supposed to be like, oh, well, what Jedi? What
the menu?
What lightsaber? Why do they hate it? So it's a different form of creating content, and that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just give insight into like the video creation process from my point of view, I guess. So there's two types of videos on the channel. There's information about the lore, and there's, opinion pieces and sort of like insight into characters, be it like, what is this character feeling in this moment? What does this character like or dislike about the Jedi or the Sith or the Force, etc. And if I title the video why the Jedi hated a certain lightsaber, it's my full intent to reveal the lightsaber that the Jedi disliked.
Yeah.
So, but it starts with a line. Sometimes it starts with a question. Most of the time it starts with reading something. But if I title the video, Kip Durin's trash lightsaber, no one's going to click that. But if I title a video like the most disgusting lightsaber in all of Star Wars lore, people will click.
Yeah, it's just more interesting, and it's just about getting people in. And it's like, can you keep them there because the content's intriguing and engaging as a creator, or is it something that's just trash and then they just won't click anymore?
Yeah, and if that video title, if you don't want to know, I don't take offense if you don't want to watch.
Yeah, I mean, well, but also it's like we're at the behest of what YouTube wants, and we kind of learn.
This is true.
What gets pushed in their algorithm and what doesn't. Like, for example, you might have a video. Like, for example, I got 3 million plus subscribers. I don't get 10% of those views on videos unless it's like a trending topic or something of mass interest because it's Star Wars, and at the end of the day, it's beholden to how popular Star Wars is at that moment.
Correct.
What I've found is videos about me or vlogs actually now do better than lore videos, which is, I don't know how I feel about it, but it is what it is. So it's kind of like you have to also work with the confines that YouTube give you. And just make content that people appreciate, content that people would want to be intrigued on to click. People who aren't even your subscribers, who just see that on the homepage. If YouTube is nice enough to you that they do put it on the homepage, which oftentimes they don't. They changed their entire algorithm, I would say, sometime in 2019 or 20 or something like that, where what you subscribe to doesn't show up on your homepage anymore. It's more so about, like, let's say you click one of my videos and then you get a recommendation for something else, and then that leads you to something else, and that leads you to something else completely irrelevant from the topic of my video that you first clicked on, but I led you there through YouTube's recommendations. You're now going to be recommended that last video that you watched. You're not going to be recommended my video anymore, and if you do, it's going to be way down on the front page. So it's super strange now, where they've just fucked everyone up, where they don't put who you subscribe to at the top of the page anymore. They put a bunch of random ass bullshit.
Yeah, they do.
It's really annoying, and it's really unfortunate. But you know what? YouTube needs to fix that, because
they really do.
It's not what you subscribe to anymore. It's like what you last watched, and they'll recommend shit based on that. It is retarded.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, YouTube content creation can be difficult to pinpoint exactly how to title something. I would just say that it's always my opinion to have the discussion in the comments with the people that love Star Wars. And I like to participate in that, and I like to read it. And that's what I'm trying to get by making the video. It's always like, this lore is sick. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Because that's how it started. It was like, this lore is sick. What do you guys think? But instead of working at a grocery store where my coworker tells me to fuck off, I have like 100 friends that are like, dude, Kip Duran's trash lightsaber is sick. I love it. And like, that just makes it for me, truthfully.
Yeah. No, I know. It's unfortunately, I found if I put myself in the thumbnail, people click much more.
Yeah.
So that's why it's low hanging fruit. Anyone who makes a video, if you put me in the thumbnail, you're going to get more clicks than if you didn't.
Just the game, dude. It's just the game.
It is. But it's like, do you want to play the game only, or do you want to also make good content? But can you do both? It's like, okay, well, now we're talking. So if I can do both, then you get repeating viewers, repeating customers. It's like the sabers. It's like, I could drop one saber and like everyone will buy it because it's the new hot thing, but no one's. I come out with the next one, people are gonna be like, "Nah, the last one was shit. We're not spending money on this." The whole point is to get repeating customers, and you can only ever do that by having good content or a good product. Otherwise, you fall flat. Otherwise, you crash and burn. So there's the Sith way, the easy and quick path, or there's the long and hard, and I'd say more virtuous path, the Jedi path, which is difficult, but in the long run, I think it stands for so much more.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. I love like sort of like back end questions where it's like on the back end of just being a YouTuber, I guess. Could Jaina defeat a non-injured Cadus?
Oh, that fight's so tough because their connection to one another just makes it all, because they're twins, right? Like, geez. I think obviously naturally Kaidus is more powerful, but if he's going all out and he doesn't care, I think he probably wins. But Jane is also super strong. She's a part of the same bloodline, so respect her. But I pick Kaidus.
What up, Lou? Thank you, Lou. Chris says the Acolyte was already written and planned when Dave became. I know I've heard this argument before, but Leslie was still saying, "Oh, like Dave signed off on this and that and blah blah blah." And he just gave them notes. And when Mando season 3, Dave was making Ahsoka full time. Yeah, I want Dave to be a little bit more. I don't know, a little more aggressive with shit. Be a little more like, I really care about George's stuff, and I know he does, but it's like, dude, like, excuse my French, but show your nuts a little bit more. Like, let's go, man. But I'd be like, hey, look, this shit you're trying to do with the Acolyte, no, we're not bringing Ki-Adi Mundi back. We're not, like, he's not even supposed to be alive. we're not doing this, we're not doing that. Like, be a little bit more aggressive with it. Like, just as George would say no, just say no to things. I would assume he has that power and ability, but I don't know. But I'm an outsider, so it's not like I have inside info like that. Which would be cool. For clickbait titles, why do it? There's a wise saying, cheddar makes it better. What?
Thanks, Rossi.
Cheddar makes it better?
I saw another one, just like chef using seasoning. That's the, adding a little bit of extra thing to make it taste better.
There's nothing worse than spending 2 weeks of your life crafting this video that is like means so much to you, and you don't think of the title. I think we've all done that before, where we've made a passion project and you don't find something that just kind of hooks in, and you put it out and it gets a limp response, and you're like, I've put so much of myself into it. Like, that sucks.
Yeah. That happens to me all the time, but I think that that's part of it.
So if anyone wants to know my secret to creating my channel, it's literally that feeling and not getting defeated by it. So, especially starting out, like, a lot of people forget that I had 0 subscribers once. Stupendous Wave was the #1. Dash Star was huge. Freaking all these other guys, they had hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and I was the baby. I was just starting out, just making videos. And I would make a video about Darth Vader, and then Wave would make a video about Darth Vader, and he would get like freaking 20x the views, and I would notice this, and I'm like, well, look, he has a much bigger rapport. Like, he's been around longer, he's got a bigger subscriber count. That's when YouTube wasn't the way it is today, and they actually like put your content out to your subscribers. And so you kind of just have to take that defeating feeling where it's like, shit, no one watched this, and you just got to be like, all right, move on, let's make the next video, let's enjoy the next one, whatever we're going to talk about. And you just keep doing that and doing that and doing that, and what is almost 9 years now. So
it's only a defeat if you give up too. If it's not a defeat, it's a lesson. There's a difference.
Right.
Don't look at your failures as defeats. Look at them as lessons for success.
Yeah, and you just try again. You dust yourself off and you try again.
That's
like,
the thing. Everybody takes YouTube so seriously. It's just like, post. What do you like, man? Post. Don't take 2 weeks to make something. Make something today. Talk about it. Turn on a camera. Don't turn on a camera. Put an image in front of it. Don't put an image in front of it. Talk about what you like, but just try and don't.
But on the inverse, and I was thinking about this, and I think that we spoke about this last time. You said, when was the moment that you realized something was wrong with Disney? And I said it was when Thrawn returned to Rebels. And it wasn't Thrawn's return. It was, I had been almost trained like a seal getting like a piece of fish by the audience, that like they wanted to see me hyped for content. And I truly was passionate. But some of the stuff they were doing, I was like feeling like it was a little questionable, right? But it was the feeling of, people don't want me to critique things. They just want hype dash, right? And that you can physically, your audience can push you in a direction where you actually have to gut check and go, something's wrong. But you're trying to, I don't want to say people please, but like, you want to make the best thing for people as well. So you have to always gut check as well. It's a weird dynamic, don't you think? Theory's like, nah, just make it for me.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. As a Star Wars YouTuber, criticizing Star Wars is a big jump. It is. And some people, it's such a big jump that a lot of Star Wars creators just won't do it. And I get that. I do. But at the same time, it's like, it's not all doom and gloom if you share how you really feel about something, guys. Like, I implore you to, be honest, and that your fan base will.
Yeah, I mean, there's easy ways. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit on YouTube where you can, make a quick video and get more views than, choosing something else. But you're not really getting a really loyal audience or an engaging audience. You might do, and this is the trap a lot of people fall into. They'll do one video that's like super clickbaity or something, and they think like, okay, I'm doing great, and it's blasting off. But you're cultivating an audience that's like super limited, and an audience that isn't going to stick there for a long time because the content's kind of just shit. It's just like predicated on views and what works and what doesn't, quote unquote. So it's like you got to just take all that shit out of it, detach yourself from the money and views, and just make content that you like. That's it. That's all.
It's a skill
So-
though. You can't let it get in. It tries to get in always, like in your head a little bit. It'll creep in if you don't just be like, nope.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course it gets in your head. I mean, if it doesn't get in your head, you're not thinking about it. And if you're not thinking about it, you don't care about it. So
You're not reading the comments of people telling you what to
Exactly.
do.
Right.
And there's a middle ground. I mean, you got to listen to the people when they're telling you something, but you also got to be like, listen, I got the grand, speaking Sith, I got the grand design in my head. Like, let me execute it.
Yeah. Well, more often than not, people are, they listen to, they want to be liked so much that they end up just like catering and changing their whole views around. And in the end, they're just placating to what they think their audience wants them to be or say. And then they just lose all authenticity. And then they just kind of end up becoming a shill or a fake or a phony or whatever. And over time, it'll catch up to them. It's like a snake with the tail. Just you end up biting your own tail.
I think so too. I also think that's trading in, the plastic ring when you could get the gold crown later. And I'm not talking monetarily. I'm meaning reputation and like audience rapport, which at the end of the day, audience rapport is the most important thing as a YouTuber. Because people may say views. I don't think that's true, because it's like what you're saying, man. It's like you want people to come back and you want people to support, and it's all because of the audience, and it's all because of the people that stay and watch that you got to have a cool conversation with. And
well, that's what people don't understand is like when they watch YouTube, like it's you guys that are making all of this go round, and if it wasn't for you guys, then well, it wouldn't be a show really. It'd just be us hanging out behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's
which
exactly
is
what it
kind
would
of sometimes why we're late, and we're just because we're shooting the shit. But if you want to have an actual show, then we need the audience. I mean, you guys are the ones that watch the content and support. So I often find YouTubers kind of forget that, and they're like, oh, it's all about me, and they become like this kind of like FouseyTube in a sense, where he becomes just like so into himself, where he thinks it's all about him, and it's like, nah, dude, it's your audience is what made you. So can't forget that ever.
No.
Ever, Lord Vader.
But the whole YouTube game, it is so different now. I mean, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know how to like build a large channel in today's, I mean, if you want to call it climate. I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Yeah. Well, I think just do what we did in the beginning. But it is different now. It's I'd say it's more so like controversy. Controversy is what's popular in today's Star Wars, in today's YouTube game.
Yeah, it's all about the flashy new headline. It's not about the content all the time.
Well, for Star Wars, there's no real new
Content.
product. So yeah, there's no content. So what do? They critique Disney for the lack of new content. It's like a postmodern era. It's a bizarre time to be in. And tell me you guys would have predicted this back in 2015, 16.
Never.
No, dude. Hell no.
It was hype. I was just like, more.
Yeah.
I thought Disney was the perfect company to get Lucasfilm in 2015.
So did I.
Me too. Idiots.
I can't imagine how many people I said that to too. Like, dude, have you seen the Marvel movies? It's those guys, but it's not those guys.
But they got the EU and they just take the good bits and they make all the stuff and everybody wins.
It's already there.
Yeah,
it's already
there.
I know.
They spent the money. They want to get it back.
If you think about it, the job that Disney has is it may be complex in execution, but it's not complex in design. They have their stories, and it's just like, do that. And then they're like, that doesn't work. And you're just like, what do you mean that doesn't work? It literally has worked since film has been around. There's been films based on books forever, dude. That's very common. But they would just look at you confused.
A new controller. I'm just like setting it up kind of thing.
I think we should have Rossi on.
You want Rossi
on?
Sure.
If you're still there, Rossi. Oh, there you are. Yeah, you're still there.
Check it out, baby. New controller. Hell yeah. It's pretty cool. I like orange. I like Halloween, so.
I like orange. I like Halloween. I never expected those things to just bang bang segue. I like pumpkin.
I'm pretty sure I have. I don't know. The people close to me, they think I have a mild form of Tourette's and definitely some form of ADHD, like majorly.
What's the Tourette's from? What, like, when are we gonna say that?
Oh, I have a really tight control on it.
Wow.
So maybe it's not Tourette's.
Yeah.
Well, it's it's just like sometimes I say like stupid shit just randomly, like out of the blue, but yeah, I think I've always had like everyone I've been close with, they're just like, I'm pretty sure you have some sort of autism, something. I'm like, yeah, probably.
Can I tell you something? This is messed up.
Yeah.
My ex-girlfriend goes, I don't want to alarm you, but I think you've got autism just because of the shit you say and whatever, Star Wars, I guess. Like, you're just jacked up. You've got to have autism. And in my head, I was like, yes, if I have autism, I can just say all this messed up stuff and get away with it. So I did a test and I scored so low. I was like, damn it. This is just me. It's pure me.
Yeah. Maybe.
I just get tired of people. Everybody's got to put a name to the way somebody thinks, and it gets tiring.
Yeah, everyone's got to put you in a box.
It was an ex-girlfriend for a reason, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Autism. It's like, no, I just think the way I think. It's okay if you don't think that way, but.
Would you three rather have a live-action Labyrinth of Evil movie or the unfinished Clone Wars episode finished and released?
The Labyrinth of Evil, no question.
Yeah, that'd be cool. See Hayden again and General Grievous. I'll put your face on one of my vids. Not significant. You got to do some sort of like hate content or something, and then you'll do well. Like, look at what Jeremy does for Geeks and Gamers. Like dude, he'll message me and be like, I just look at my thumbnail and I'll look at it and it like actually gets views. He like clickbaits the shit out of people who don't like me. Let me see if I can find this.
I love that you're at peace with this.
Yeah, look at this. So, like in his video, he's totally defending me, but he, it like obviously.
What do you guys think of that clickbait? How about that?
Wow, Jeremy's the master of it. There's no one better at it than him.
That's not clickbait. That's just advertising.
Yeah.
I didn't even look at the top thumbnail properly. I'm like, oh my god.
Right? This one jumps out at you, man. Yeah, no, it's great.
The fact that it doesn't make your teeth all yellow and you look beat up and stuff is there we go. You're looking pretty distressed.
There's another one. Yeah, looking you got the Chad there. That's good. Yeah. No, I always appreciate Jeremy's videos. He's always so supportive. Good friend. What up, Brady? You love your Theory Saber sign behind you? Yeah, I love my company. I love my sign. Absolutely.
It's a sick sign regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, really love it. I really love everything we're doing, and I'm so thankful that the community like kept pushing me to make my own company. And it's like, thank you. Vader is the most iconic supervillain in any cinematic film. Is there anyone else? Is there anyone close? Dash, love the humor. You're making me cry from laughing too hard. Chat, spam one if you like Dash on this show. I love him.
Don't do this to me. It's gonna be like -1.
No.
Don't do that. Theory said if I don't get a lot of ones, I'm gone. He's texting me right now. I swear to God.
You're done for you, my master. Yeah, no, look at all those ones,
monkey.
Man.
Dash, look at all the ones, bro.
Hell
hey, much love to all of you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. 0.5. I see you, Rabid _1. I'm not going to forget that.
0.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
We get a -1.
It's better than 0.
I'm looking.
It's a lot of ones. Yeah. I'm excited to see once like we get a show like we were talking about backstage, like when we get a real show, not Skeleton Crew, but like a real Star Wars show or whatever. It's just the level of engagement's going to be so huge because people are going to be tuning in much more. They're going to be interested. It's going to be a good time.
It's gonna be stressful, dude. For me, I think
That's why I said this is great for you because it like
training
trains you to live stream.
I'm on Dagobah right now.
Nah, dude. Seriously, like I'm so numb to it at this point. It's just I don't know. Live streaming is probably my favorite form of content making now at this point.
I can definitely see that. Just the immediate reaction is cool. It's just always how do you balance not
Neuro official, yeah, man, you're gonna love it. How do I balance what?
How do you balance like so the way I approach things sometimes is like I have to be on all the time, and that can be draining, right? On something like this. How do you approach it? Like what's the is it just second nature? Also keep in mind that this is your audience since it's from your channel, obviously. So there's a level of I think comfort's the wrong word, but I guess my question is how do you approach that? How do you not let it drain you?
Oh, I'm just really comfortable with myself. So it's like, I feel like I am who I am, and if I don't know, in my position, there are people who try to hate me for their own made up stuff or their own interpretation, and there's people who really appreciate what I do, and the people I meet at conventions, and I get to look into their eyes and see their energy, and the people I see in chat all the time. And after 8.5 years of doing this every single day, you just fall into acceptance that not everyone's going to resonate with you or like you. People might be jealous or they might hate you or whatever, or they might whatever. But then the inverse comes too, where people really like they love you, they appreciate you, they just want to hang out and vibe, and it's not too deep. And so I'm pretty comfortable with the fact that I just say what I want to say and I let people come up with their own interpretation or idea of me, and if that aligns, then cool. And if not, then it is what it is. But I don't know. I think life really trained me in the sense where like I was not popular and I always really wanted to be as a kid. I wanted the hot girlfriend. I wanted to be popular in school, and I wasn't. I was a skinny, like awkward guy who was just in love with Star Wars and like nerdy stuff, and no one really understood that, especially back then. Where now it's like cliquey and cool, and you get invited to premieres and all this and that bullshit. But back then it was like, legit. Like you guys know, you guys lived it. So I think life kind of trained me in the sense where like you just accept the fact that you got to be who you are, and you can't cater to anybody. You're you.
I think reframing. Sorry, did I cut you off?
No.
Just to add to Stoop's question, because I think what he's asking, and I get this too, is I don't watch Twitch streamers or anything because I feel like they're just kind of low energy, sitting there clicking for 10 hours. They do nothing. But when I get on stream, because somebody's taking the time out of their day to watch me, I'm high energy. I'm trying to give them all I have. And I burn out within 2 hours. I'm cooked of the adrenaline. I'm sweating because I'm really putting everything into it. And I think that you get that too, Stoops, right?
Totally. I mean, I was before I hopped on during my walk, it's like I mentally prepare myself. People are taking time out of their day to listen to you, deliver, dude. It's not hard. Deliver. So
I don't think
there's that pressure. You don't?
No.
I think been doing it too much, I think.
No, I just see it as like guys who just, maybe they have the day off or they don't got anything going on, or they come home after work and they just want to like hang out with a community that understands them, and also listen to someone or engage with the community that isn't trying to be someone they're not. And I think a lot of people, like from what I've seen from meeting people in person over the years, they just really appreciate the fact that I'm just myself, and I'm not trying to be on for anybody or the internet, or like I could be. Hey guys, today we're going to talk about this and that and the other thing, and we're going to go blah, 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 use discount code, blah, blah, blah. So let's get right to it, guys. I can make it super entertaining like that, where it's like super lively. You're on. I've got, let's say, like music that comes on. I could do like hit this button and then blah 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 blah. Like get like I don't know. I could do a lot of shit, but I kind of treat it as like, all right, these are my friends, these are my audience, and like if you were hanging out with me in my house, I would not be like fucking, hey man, what are we gonna do today? Let's go on and like let's watch this movie and yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm just not like, I don't know, just not into that, and I think people really appreciate that because the fact that it's just like normal.
Totally.
You
The
know what I
way
mean?
I'm approaching it is like a little bit more in the middle because obviously Dash and I were guests and we're, honored to be platformed. Essentially, that's what's going on. And it's the same thing of like having a conversation at your house with you. That's totally the same. But
Yeah.
where a lull in live conversation isn't an issue, or like long periods of, not talking about Star Wars, which is what we're all based around, is not an issue friend to friend when there
Yeah.
are people that have come specifically for you because we've all built our brands around Star Wars. I
Yeah.
approach it with that responsibility that I need to fulfill that to some extent, at least.
Nah, man, you'll get used to it. You'll get used to it in a sense where like you are not representing Stupendous Wave. Stupendous Wave represents you. I feel like that's, a lot of
Bars.
people. Yeah, a lot of people, they see me as Star Wars Theory, but they don't understand like, I am not their interpretation of the channel.
Totally.
I'm me, and whatever that is what I say it is because that's who it's coming from. So, and I think a lot of people just like a natural thing. It's like, okay, cool, yeah, this guy's not trying to.
I like that a lot.
Like I don't know, and I understand like streamers and stuff. And I get it. I sometimes get into the drama and the fun of it too, and like you have to a little bit, but for the most part, like you watch speed streams, and like do you honestly think that guy is literally like that behind camera? Be like, chat, oh my god, chat, oh my god, oh, chat, what's going on here? Like, no, he's like, that's a fucking act. You're putting it on for the camera, and like, I get it. It's entertaining, it's funny, or whatever, or there's energy to it, but at the same time. You can't be like that 24/7, and I just choose not to be like that. So you'll find your groove where it's like you understand that you are just you, and people like you, and or they won't like you, and fuck, tough.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Who cares?
I think that's your gift, dude, because most of us, I think that you're actually the anomaly, and Stoops and I are probably the norm of, we have to bring the best, most entertaining version of ourselves. Not fake, but just a higher energy because people are taking time out of their day and they want to be entertained, and it's our job to do so. And I don't mean that in a horrible job way. I mean, like, you're still having fun, but you're like, okay, just bring forward the most fun version of yourself. And I think that it can be extrapolated out way too far where it becomes fake or it becomes forced or it becomes, like you said, whereas you have the gift of just being like, it's theory, baby. And people are like, whoa, I'm not used to this at all, but it resonates so much. That's why, Stoops and I keep saying to each other, we like being on here because we don't edit the video in our head. Like, we're just being ourselves. It's like de-YouTuber class. Like you're training, like
it is.
Forget all that you know.
That's exactly what it is, dude. It is the YouTuber class, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's probably very
they're
healthy.
Yeah,
I'm not
I don't
afraid,
know.
Theory. You will be.
I don't know, man. Yeah, like
wait till a show comes out.
I don't know. I just don't. Yeah, it's not that deep. It's just like, fuck. I don't really know what to say. I'm just hanging out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And I think that, the more I do, the more I'll get like that. I find myself starting the stream as Stupendous Wave and ending as Ethan, which is always great, Yeah. Or Stoops. Dude, Dash, I love that so much. You're like the second person ever to call me Stoops. I love it so much. I prefer it so much more. Yeah.
Well, you said it. I thought that is a cool name. And I called you in my head before, and I was like, that actually works. And
dude, that warmed my heart. You said it earlier in the stream. I was like, hell yeah, dude.
Well, I don't want to have to say Stupendous Wave every time.
Yeah.
Or the captain of the Executor.
I think if you guys aren't trying to be on all the time, then you're just you and you're just hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not tiring. It's kind of like when, in the Cell Saga, when Goku taught Gohan in the hyperbolic time chamber to just like achieve Super Saiyan form as their stasis.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's just where they're at. They're just chilling, literally, with blonde hair. So they don't have to do anything. It's just, that's kind of like where I wanted to, what I wanted to do is to just, I don't want to have to be on. I'm just me, and it doesn't mean I'm like no energy. Fuck, I've got a lot of energy sometimes on certain topics, or if I'm passionate or emotional about something. But for the most part, I'm not trying to entertain, and I think that's probably where the entertainment comes from, which is good. It's more like a Joe Rogan kind of thing, where it's just like, yeah, you're just a dude.
Organic.
Yeah, you're just a dude, and not everyone's gonna like you. But
Rogan is so
will.
good at that too. He can have a conversation with anybody. He's very impressive in that way.
Yeah, and that's why I would love to start bringing people on, because it's like, I like that engagement. And I think like in the past, I was a younger version of myself where like I was able to get shifted and like emotionally rocked by people if they would say this or that. But I feel like now, at like almost 35, I'm like, I kind of feel like a veteran in this game, where I'm just like, all right, man, I've seen it all, heard it all, done it all, kind of thing, where it's like, all right, let's just focus on the topic of the day and discuss that and have some fun with it as people and as fans who have lived and breathed this literal franchise since as young as they can remember. I think that's what you got to remember, is that you're just a dude. I'm just a girl in a world. Whatever the song goes.
Keep going.
We've been watching you since day one. Thank you for everything. Bought a saber of the BOGO past Saturday, but don't have any tracking info yet. China Post. Yeah, well, where are you in the world? Are you in the States? It's been crazy busy with not just us, but the post masters all around the world and the postal companies. They are extremely slammed. So you're gonna get your saber. It's just probably gonna be a week or two late. And that's out of our hands. But we have done our part. We have sent it to them. They've picked it up, and now it's just waiting in their facility because they're probably behind on shit. But at the end of the day, if you have any questions, you reach out to support. We're with you. We'll make you happy no matter what. But it's not China Post. It's going to be FedEx or DHL or some. I'm trying to write a book. It's going to take place in the post-apocalyptic with a lead character that is unable to speak. One of the side characters is based on my dog. Cool. Well, I hope it goes well.
Are you going to read that one?
Dash, only half love you. Poofda.
So Poofda, obviously, I don't know if you know what that means. It means you're
no.
gay, but
I'm
Australian, but not a mean version of it. So it's like, okay, back at you.
It's
Thank
like
you.
I'm supposed to see Craven with Benjamin in 15 minutes. I don't want to ditch him. I would love to come on stream, though. No problem. Another time.
Go see Craven.
Baby. I got some good news for you, Rossi. Probably coming next week. Don't have a crazy topic, but down to join. That's a great way to get you on. I don't have anything to talk about, but I'll come on. Your Theory talks helped me out when I was super depressed and suicidal. You're a good person, Theory, who actually cares for your fans. I got bullied a lot from having 2 lesbian moms and no dad. Love you. Love you too, man. I think most of us have been bullied at one point or another. Like actual bullying, not, today's softy version of like, you didn't agree with my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
We got our BOGO sabers for my son and I. Thank you. You were so happy pulling the Theory Saber sign out at the Expo. Geeks and Gamers for the win. Right on, Mike. I'm glad you and your son are going to have some good memories. Throw Stupendous Theory. You guys are great. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Mike.
I like your bird.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing for me. So I like your bird.
Dude, that's something
It's
Jay
a
would've
nice
said.
bird. It's a nice bird.
I feel like Ivan Vanko, was it from Iron Man 2? I want my bird. No, it's really cool looking, dude.
How old is he, Mike? JKA live action would be pretty sweet. Yeah,
Feeling it.
Kyle Katarn.
Do you know that Jason Court, by the way, can I segue here? Jason Court is the actor of Kyle Katarn from Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight 1. They don't get confusing, those titles. And he lives in Napa Valley now because he was an out-of-work actor. And he's written a whole bio on his website where he just produces wine now. And I'm like, that's wild. When I was living in California, I was like, man, could I like pay him to green screen something and you know, be Kyle again? I'm like, no, don't bother him. He's in Napa Valley making wine. He's happy. But yeah, it's
He
wild.
might. Why not? A lot of these guys, they're actors, bro. Like, it to some of them, it doesn't mean nearly as much as it does to us. They just got paid for a gig.
That's 100%. Do you know, it's funny because our generation, we love these guys, especially voice actors in like 90s, 2000s. And that was frowned upon. All of these big actors, it was kind of like the shame place to go to do voice acting.
Yeah.
And then here we are frothing, being like, you're Kyle Katarn. And he's like, dude, it was 3 days for $1,200. Like, I don't know what the Force is. And it's like, no, you're going to know what Force is.
No,
you're going to say the lines.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing with Dragon Ball, too. It's like those voice actors are just, you know, like Chris Sabat, Sean Shamel. These guys are legends at this point.
I tried to reach out to Sarah Kesselman, who voices Kreia. She has no social media presence. And then she was doing a play, and it turned out that only a friend of hers was contactable. Anyway, I didn't get the interview. I tried, but she's so good. And I know that as a Shakespearean actor, she's probably like, I don't remember any of this shit from 2005. But
that Kreia performance is probably one of the most underrated in all of Star Wars. It's incredible. Do you ever listen to like the compilations of her audio?
Absolutely. Her, John Irenicus from Baldur's Gate 2, Marius from Diablo, like these. Sorry, I'm just rattling off people. I literally will put them on in the background because people do the compilations, as you know, and just listen to her wisdom and try. She's my favorite character. So like, I'm trying to decipher the meaning.
What about her makes her your favorite?
This is back to what we said before. She reminds me of my late grandmother, actually. There's just, I love the power that she has without even lifting a lightsaber. You know what I mean? Like it's all mental, but she makes you think. There's just so many facets to her that are so complex. And I don't know. I love the performance. I love voice acting. So the performance is just out of this world.
And her view on the Force, it's like, that's disgusting, but it makes sense.
Yes, I like to be challenged. So that was my whole thing when I'd find things that made me, you know, like I said, Jedi made me look at the Force in a new way as a science, and she made me look at the philosophy of the Force itself. And it was like, you know, is it evil that the Force dictates what happens to us and we have no choice? Billions of people would die, trillions, just because it dictates it wants balance like that. I still think about it. I'm like, damn it, that's such good writing.
Yeah. It breaks everything open because it questions the universe for like the first time ever.
Agreed. Yeah.
Dragon Ball drama going on. So this is the first time I'm hearing of this. Someone saying Sean Shamel isn't nice to fans. What's the story behind that? Vic is the best Broly, I think. That's the original Broly voice actor versus the new one. I mean, the new one's fine, but I think the Vic is there's just something. Wait, where's he the new one? What the freak? Am I mixing it up, bro?
Enjoy Craven, Rossi. I hope you enjoy it.
Is Vic the original Broly, or is he the... Oh, no, he's the new Broly. Is he? Hold on here. I'm very confused. Vic. Chat, maybe you can tell me, because I'm... Vic is the original Broly? Oh, okay. No, Vic is the new Broly? You guys are confusing me. Vic is new? Oh, okay. Well, then...
So was the old voice actor mean to somebody? Is that the drama?
No, they're saying Sean Shamel was mean. I don't know what happened though.
Vic got killed.
Vic is old and new. Oh shit! Really? I don't know why they got rid of Linda for Frieza. So weird.
Is that the like class? I'm sorry, I'm not a
Frieza.
gigantic Dragon Ball.
That's the original Frieza voice actor.
Yeah, where it's like, how do you describe her voice? I don't even know. It's like that.
Yeah, literally. Literally.
That's all I got.
Literally, dude. I want to voice some lines, but I feel like it's someone just
Dude,
call me
do it.
racist. No, no, because Frieza has like is like the most like so
Frieza's
many
a
memes about
confirmed
Frieza being
racist.
racist.
I just watched the clips online, and it's just like Dragon
Just
Ball.
got my second saber with the mystery one. Gonna look great in my office with the other Star Wars stuff. Even my game was inspired by it. Love your content. Congrats. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lois Dev. And thanks for grabbing the saber. Thanks for the kind words. Thanks for the big super chat. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Linda Young is still alive. Yeah, I follow her on Instagram. Yeah, I don't know why they replaced her. She was the best. Vic was both DBZ, Broly, and DBS. He was all the Brolys in the movies up until Superhero. He's not in Superhero? Completely dismissed what he was saying. What do you mean? Post FOJ full power Luke versus Prime Vader Anakin. Prime Anakin destroys anybody. Damn Saiyans. I used to be able to do his voice when I was younger. It's a little more like high pitched.
And you turned too much into Palpatine as he got older.
My lord, yeah.
I always like want to try for like a video, but then it's like, dude, no one wants to hear you try to do Palpatine.
Dude, that was me, man. I got made fun of quite a bit by haters in the beginning when I started to do like impersonations of like Obi-Wan. My English accent was horrible. Like, oh no, Anakin, what are you doing? People would just like rip me apart. Like, Theory, I love you,
Dude.
but please never do that again. And I was like, oh.
I remember when the Force Awakens trailer came out, and I said Finn was an African American, and people were like, "You dumb motherfucker! He's not even American!" Like, in your attempt to not be racist, you just did the most racist ever, and it's just like, whoa, calm down. That was like the first. I don't know if you even want to call it like the comment section getting upset, but yeah. Such a tiny thing.
People need someone to blame it for something, right? If they don't, then who are they going to blame? Themselves for their own failures? No. I've been there too. You eventually grow up. Take accountability. No one goes after and cancel Frieza for the things he said and did. Keep that same energy. I know, eh? I know. Frieza was the most racist son of a bitch ever. And if you've seen Dragon Ball, you know exactly what I'm saying.
But can we be clear here? I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for saying this.
Fuck
they
that.
literally were monkeys, like half monkey dudes. That's what you're talking about, right?
I know.
They had the tail.
Yeah, I know.
I loved when he used to go off his tits about that. I was like, yeah, get him, Frieza, get him. Because he couldn't believe it. He's like, a Saiyan monkey is beating me?
He's like, what the
The
hell
ultimate
is this?
life form?
Stupid monkeys. Damn dirty Saiyans.
Getting closer. I'm loving it.
Getting closer.
That is a lot closer.
It's coming back. It's like a Chris Ayres, Linda Young kind of. You gotta practice a little more. Prime Anakin literally destroys everyone. Yeah. Well, that was the point.
Unless it's like an entity or something, then yeah, it gets wild.
Got falsely accused and was fired from being Broly, but he now recently got married. Glad for him. Accused of what?
Yeah.
He got fired?
I believe that there was a Me Too kind of situation. I loosely kept up with it. And yeah, a lot of, I think they were false. Can't speak to it. I just remember that, you know how it always happens where
I remember there was some. I remember Sean Schimmel making some video about something, and I didn't follow it. I didn't know what the details were. Yeah. Huh.
You can never get away from that, though. Like, if you see the first half, you're like, he's guilty, and then you don't read the internet, and then see, oh, he's acquitted, he's not guilty. But then forever, though, like, he's been tarnished, his reputation, like, that's cooked.
Yeah. It's not fair. If that's the case, if he's if it didn't actually happen, then it's not fair.
Well, it happened to Mike Avalone, who wrote KOTOR, and he wrote KOTOR 2, and with Obsidian, he wrote Fallout New Vegas, and all these accusations came down, and then he was acquitted fully. Like, he fully proved it, not just, I'm full in court. And it's like, people aren't going to remember that. It's just, you're cooked now, bro. This is really, really messed up. And I'm going to say this, I probably shouldn't. I was in a Discord with a certain company that worked with Star Wars games for the last 10 years. And I said, when Fallen Order was coming out, oh my God, is Chris Avalone writing it? He wrote Kreia. I can't wait to see his content, because he was a contractor at the time for that. And the dude went off his chops, like, unprofessionally at Chris Avalone, and I couldn't understand why. I'm like, why do you hate this guy? And then the accusations came out, and I realized he was probably friends with the person, and I was like, that he's never going to get a writing job. Like, you're done. Oh, anyway, that's a whole other can of worms.
That's why he's got to go off and make his own thing.
Yeah, but it just sucks if you didn't do it. Like, come on, that's brutal.
Yeah, but then and we've seen stories about guys that they spend like 20 years or whatever in jail, and then they're acquitted, and they're like, oh, this didn't actually happen, and then the woman like apologizes or whatever. I've seen those clips, and I'm just like, man, that guy's life just
gone.
20 years, 10 years, whatever,
gone.
5 years gone for something he never did.
There's
got to be some sort of yeah. No, it's like,
if
not fair.
If he did do it, yeah, rot in jail.
Of course, yeah.
But if you're an innocent guy, like, fuck, dude, what the hell?
There's also probably a bunch of people walking around that did do it, that did get in trouble. Like, it's all messed up in its own way. But it's weird that, like, specifically these dudes can't get work. They get blackballed from the industry. And like I said, I saw it firsthand. Like, I was like, oh, wild.
Oh, there's some more lore coming out here. That's why I refuse to ever listen to Funimation English dubs. Those VAs are evil. Do tell. I stay out of anything outside of, and I say Dragon Ball is probably like because like Star Wars, I'm so intertwined with it now, and I'm like, I know the back end. I've spoken with a lot of the guys who created it. I've spoken, I know the drama behind all the Disney shit. But with Dragon Ball, I don't, and I've kept out of it for a reason, because I just want to look at it for what it is, and I guess it has its own shit too. Every company, I suppose, does.
I know exactly what you're talking about when you say that. Or it's like, there's just some things that I don't need to know because it will ruin my enjoyment of it.
Ruins the magic.
Everybody has that pure franchise, though. I think mine's Lord of the Rings. I don't even know anything about any of the nothing. I just sometimes absorb the lore. I watch the videos, and I just keep it kind of casual.
Yeah.
Don't watch Rings of Power. Don't watch any of the drama. Just
Yeah, I watched half of one episode of Rings of Power, and I was like, I'm not into this.
Yeah, I watched part of the first episode, and it was just so clearly not the thing that I loved.
Hell yeah. Bruce Faulconer. Why did they get rid of Faulconer too? I don't know, bro. Like the stream. Yeah, everyone smash the like button. What the what? Bro, Oh, he was conservative. Oh. Yeah, well, that'll do it. Yeah. That's why I do like Dragon Ball in its original Japanese dub. But I've always, especially as a kid, I watched it in the English version. But, I feel like the Japanese one doesn't have there's none of this drama, at least that we know about. But then I'm sure there probably is. You ask Geekdom, he probably knows all about it.
Oh, Danny would be just swimming in it.
Yeah. Where's he at right now?
I haven't spoken to him in months. I don't know. Florida still, or?
No, I meant like right now to get him on.
Yeah, he could break down the drama pretty well.
Episode 4. Padawan Ahsoka versus Episode 4 Luke? Well, Padawan Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Dust his ass.
She's been trained since she was an infant.
Yeah, dude, we want Dash here every week if he's down for it, if he has time.
What do you mean unintentionally? You think I don't have any control over this? It's only the.
I'm confused.
I was going to say the tism parts. I'm like, don't you say it. You're just digging that hole.
I don't think it's been unintentional at all. Seems very deliberate humor to me.
No, they're laughing at me, not with me, apparently.
Well, I'm doing both.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, thanks, Moose. Yeah, these are always laid back, man. They're pretty chill.
Hey, Theory, I got a question for you, if I may. Just a quick one. Who's the dude? Because you met a lot of behind the scenes dudes. Who's the dude or lady? They got you like super juiced. They told you Star Wars. You don't have. It doesn't have to be like insider information, but like just speaking to them, you got excited. Like you just were feeding.
Good question.
It's probably Nick Gillard, man. I mean, there's, yeah. There's stuff there. Like we're just hanging out with Nick in New York. Like we spent like several days just literally. We got lost in Stanley Park for I don't know how many hours it was, but we walked. I think it was like 20,000 steps. Or no, fuck me, it was 45,000 steps.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Yeah.
I've done that in New York before too, actually.
Yeah, it was
you can do that in New York City.
Yeah, it was 45,000 steps, I remember. And I took a red eye and I didn't sleep. And it was hilarious, man. It just but Nick told me stories and things that I don't think anybody knows.
Just a super cool cat, easy to talk to, open book.
Unbelievable.
Did he show you a couple of moves? Was he like, come on, you want to do the mall flip? Check this out.
Yeah, you know what? It wasn't even like it was just Nick is the most like raw, real dude you'll come across. He doesn't fall for any of this like Hollywood bullshit and he's Nick. He's the way he is. Yeah.
Did he ever tell you? Did he tell you who like design and fighting style he enjoyed creating the most? Like who's his favorite? Who's he the most proud of, you would think?
There was a lot of talk about Star Wars, sure, but I'd say there was even more talk just about like life and experiences and like just views and just like hanging out as a person. So, but to your question, like, I mean, probably Anakin. I would imagine.
Yeah. I wish that he did the choreography, because you can certainly tell it just, I don't know. I feel like it got a little bit better with Ahsoka, but it's still nowhere near what it was with the prequels. And you can really tell they don't feel like, I don't know how to, but they don't feel like they're trying to kill each other. Like, I don't know other way to put it than that. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys feel that, like, especially the second duel in Peridia between Ahsoka and Balin. Like, I just thought that was just uninspired.
Yeah. No, but I would say Nick Gillard and Roger Christian are probably the two, and not to like put down anyone else that I've spoken to, because I mean I was like talked to Paul Hirsch and like guys that worked on the original films with George, but George just endorsed Roger's book a couple months ago. He wrote a foreword in his upcoming book. So they're still in communication, and he endorses Roger. And I mean, Roger created the freaking lightsaber, right? So it's like, to George, they worked a lot together. I mean, back in the day. And so the stories that Roger's told me, as well as like behind the scenes stuff, just on set and with George and over the years, and there's just a lot of, let's just say there's a lot of content that could be made, but I would never do that, because it's just human to human conversations on the phone or in person, and it's like, it's just so cool. It's sometimes I take a step outside of like the moment, and I'm like, the geek side of me is like, this is actually happening. Like, I'm actually talking to the freaking guy who like choreographed the entire prequel trilogy, and they used to watch all the time, or Roger Christian, who literally created the goddamn lightsaber, like, and created some of the other lightsabers as well. And like it's, but then you collect yourself, and you're just like, you realize they're just people, and they did something that was revolutionary, obviously, but at the end of the day, like, you're listening to their stories and their experiences, and it's cool. It's really cool. It's cool in so many facets, and living the dream, man. Never thought I'd be in this position, just to like know these people, like have their phone number, and like,
Yeah.
like I was literally walking around last night downtown on some errands, and like, I get a call, and I look at my phone, it's Roger Christian, and I'm like, and we just ended up shooting the shit for like half an hour. It's like, what the fuck? And then the other night I was talking to Nick, and it's like, we have plans to hang out in a month. It's like, it's cool, man. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Pretty much everyone in the world knows what a lightsaber is. And you're on the phone with the guy that made it.
Literally made it.
Billions of people.
Yeah. Will Nick be a judge in your saber tournament? So that's what I want. But he's extremely busy. So it's like, I will even change the time and date of the tournament just so he can be involved. So if that means we have to push it, fine. But I want him involved. Dashtism.
Very 2025. I love it.
Well, Nick, yeah, I just read that one. Yeah. So it's cool, man.
I have like such a fear of that. I love Star Wars so much that I worry if I peek behind the curtain too much, it'll lose its magic a little bit.
I'm here to tell you that it doesn't.
Really?
With the original guys, the first guys involved in the first 6, it only makes the magic better, because it was George. It was George's. It was all under George. So
Yeah.
And he wasn't going to let anything break or any weird shit happen. So it was all under him, and hearing about all the behind the scenes stuff that like isn't even in the books, and it's cool. It's wild.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
But obviously with Disney shit, that's what takes you out of it.
Yeah,
because it's so hit or miss. You get Jon Favreau, and it's probably the closest to Star Wars that we'll get. But then you get God freaking Leslie Headland, and it's like Hawk Tua on George Lucas. It's like, it's like what the hell is this shit?
I can
Tour on George Lucas.
Spitting on him, not blowing.
I know. Like, that's a visual.
Yeah, all right. Let's not.
I've always had such a reservation, just like going and like doing anything Disney era Lucasfilm for that reason, that it just feels so much like a company and so much not like Star Wars, and that bums me out a lot.
Yeah, well, that's why it's the that's why they call me the George Lucas purist, baby. That's fine.
It'd be crazy to live in a world where we got his sequels. I wonder what it would be like. I wonder what like Star Wars as a franchise would be perceived as right now if we just finished episode 9 a few years ago.
Well, he was already filming 7, you know this, right?
I knew
production on 7 had begun.
I've heard that, but that's all that I know, just that one sentence of information. So I don't know anything about the plot of episode 7 or the villain or any of that stuff. So.
Yeah, well, Roger actually told me some interesting information that I don't think anybody knows, and I'm going to check with him to see if I can even mention that, or maybe I'll have him on to mention it. But there was in to do with the sequel trilogy that George had. There was I'll let him explain. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. But Mike says, "Stupendous, how much to see your face, Hawk Tua?"
I'll show my face eventually for free. You don't have to pay anything.
I got a funny story about that, actually. This is a true story. It's going to upset Stoops, but we're tight now.
Bring it.
We're Star Wars blood brothers. Back in the day, Stupendous wouldn't come to events. He said it himself. He didn't come to events. He wouldn't show himself, whatever. We're all like baffled. Who is this dude? He's an anomaly. Someone sent me a picture of you, and it was on my computer in like a document, like one of those files that you'd like forget about forever. And I found it probably a year ago. I'm like, what the hell is it? Oh my God, that's Stupendous Wave.
I think my face is so,
got a photo
unexceptional.
Bro.
It's my background for years. No, you just look like a dude, but it was so funny that somebody hunted you down, found a picture of your face, and sent it to me. And I don't even remember who or why.
Yeah,
I was like,
I mean, I would lie if I was saying that makes me feel entirely comfortable with that stuff. But it just that's the whole reason why I didn't go to those things. You know what I'm saying, man? Like. You feel that?
Yes, it's creepy. I know, and I'm selling
I'm
it
not
for
saying
a low price. Chat. Just so you know, I'm selling it after this. We're gonna get the highest bidder. No, I'm joking. I understand, dude. It was.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I was just not ready for that. Everybody, I don't know. I don't want to use the word adults, but everybody was adults. All the Star Wars YouTubers were adults, and I literally
they didn't act like them.
No, I was like bitch boy adults. Like there was this weird thing that went on where it was like it was like flexing whoever didn't know the most about Star Wars. And remember, my memory is shit. I always do it through emotion. Whoever didn't know the most was a fake YouTuber. There was this weird witch hunt, like Inquisitors.
Yeah.
Sniffing him out. I swear to God.
Well, what's his face did that. And he kind of like I didn't like Wave for a while, and I didn't even know. I never spoke to him, and that's all thanks to that guy.
All that stuff. Yeah, I'm guilty.
Feeding me.
The reason why Theory and I were friends because I've apologized to him like 40 times for being a bitch and being like, I didn't like you for literally no
that's
reason.
Because of that guy. That guy's literally like the emperor. He like literally brainwashed you to hate me. He brainwashed me to hate Wave, and it's like.
And Wave hated nobody. He's in the corner.
I didn't hate anybody.
Bro was just doing his thing, he stayed away from all that shit. And it's like,
I take responsibility. I shouldn't. It should never happen, but it is what it is. And I'm glad that we're all reconnecting, though.
Yeah.
I freaking love this, and I really hope that you decide to become a permanent guest, Dash. Truthfully, sincerely, I'm calling you out. Like, I want you to come back. And
No, say no
think
more. You all heard it. I want you, Dash.
you
dot,
did.
dot. Chat, help me out. No, thank you, dude. I really appreciate it. I'll stop being silly. Thank you so much. I appreciate you both.
I appreciate you, man. I think this is such a unique podcast because it's like, I don't know, where are you gonna find, like, I would say that the three, kind of maybe the oldest Star Wars YouTubers that have consistently been around, stayed around, and like grown their audience over years and years, and it's like you don't. And for three of us to come together and just share our experiences, our different experiences and similar experiences, and our takes on things, I think it makes for a really cool show. I would want to watch that, dude. If there's like three Marvel channels and they all like come together, I'd be like, all right, dude, that's kind of cool. This is like this is the place to be. It's like the three biggest guys. Let's see
The
what they have to say.
triumvirate.
Right, and they have different experiences with the community, and like, because when you are larger, you do have everyone's coming for you, good and bad, and so you have a lot of experience with just dealing with shit and stories and opinions, and I think it makes for a very good podcast.
I agree. I have lots of fun. And you sort of know all that stuff is happening behind the scenes and you just accept it. It's just like, oh, nobody actually knows me. So why am I going to why am I going to let someone's opinion who's never met me, who's never had a conversation with me? The most I ever had with any of, the people at those events was email exchanges. Like, that is sincerely where it ended, except for Dash. Dash was the only one that I ever spoke to.
Skyped? I thought you spoke to Geekdom 101, Danny, no, or somebody
Yeah,
else.
but he's not a Star Wars YouTuber.
Yeah, because he was like, oh yeah, Stoops is cool, and I was like, all right, I'll
It
actually
was
talk to him.
back in the day. I think it was like you and Danny. That's it. It's not something I went out and like was like, I have to speak to everybody. It was like, oh, we're all sort of doing our thing, and I'm happy that I even get to do this at all.
And it's because you and Theory had the best attitudes. You're like the top dogs, which is the thing that I like the most. You can't beat it. It's like proof is in the pudding.
I appreciate that. That means a lot.
Thanks, man. I'm just glad that we're all still around, and that's all thanks to the community. And we love you guys. I genuinely love doing these live streams, and I just like hanging out and shooting the shit, and just as people, as Star Wars fans, as Star Wars content creators, as whatever you want to call us. It's fun.
From three different countries.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Which is cool, man.
I think that's an amazing element of the show, honestly.
It's 8 p.m. And for Wave, it's 11
yes,
p.m.
Sir.
What time is it for you?
3 p.m. When you played that Qui-Gon clip, I literally thought I was like, that was the band exit clip. And I thought, oh shit, I've done it. Like, I'm not for good. That's his send-off.
That's the joke.
So good.
Wait, you asked for the time because you got to go?
Oh no, there's nothing behind that. I was just curious because we're 3 different time zones potentially.
Yeah. 3 p.m. over there for you. So you're 5 hours behind, but a day ahead.
And a day ahead. Yeah. So I always just do that. I always just go far behind.
Yeah. That's easy.
So when you say Fridays, Thursdays?
The Thursdays, yeah.
My Friday is what I do in my head. I'm like, please don't tell me he actually knows my time zone because then I'm screwed.
No, that's really easy. No, I had a girlfriend from Australia when I was 16. We met on a trip, and then we're like kids. We like would phone each other, and like when we went back home, we would like phone each other. Dated for like maybe like a month or 2 months, and then we met up like 6 years later, 6 years after that.
In which country?
Canada. Yeah, but she was from Melbourne.
Oh, that's where I'm from. Because I'm like, oh my god, that's a 14-hour. No, probably.
Oh, dude,
17-hour flight. Like,
yeah. It's a long flight.
I don't want to fly to Portland. It's like 5 hours.
I'll do 5 standing on my head. Anything over like 6 to 8, I start to go, oh, but like, Here's the thing. Did you guys ever go to the Battlefront 2 when EA sent us out to Sweden a bunch of times? You guys went to that, right?
Sweden?
No, where DICE Studios are.
No, I went to Germany. I went to Gamescom. Like they sent me
Gamescom.
to
I saw
Gamescom.
you there. Yeah. So
Oh
they
yeah,
had
yeah.
game changers that would give them feedback, and I literally embarrassed myself. I was screaming like, "Make the saber combat more like Jedi Academy. You can't make them like two toys mashing together." And like, I'm embarrassing myself in front of everybody in the company. Anyway, they sent me out like 6 times, and it's because they don't want to pay extra money. It was a flight and again, I know I'm very lucky, but it's a flight from Melbourne to Dubai to Stockholm. And it was like a 30-hour trip one way. Then they'd have me on the ground for 2 days, and then they'd put me home. And I was like, every time they'd invite me, I'd be like, please, no more. I don't want to do it.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
30 hours?
Yeah. And it was in a week. So literally 2-3 days on the ground, they'd send me home. And like, again, I know I'm very, very, very lucky because they paid for it. But that travel is brutal.
My craziest flight was from Orlando to Lima, Peru, for just a humanitarian mission, and just traveling and jumping countries is so hard. Just to go to a place where nobody speaks the language anymore, and it was hard for me at least.
Well, it's lovely. That's a better cause than going to tell people if you like Battlefront 2 or not. By the way, I was cooked, dude, like cooked. Because you jet lagged and you're just out of time zones and stuff. And I went to the bathroom and they were doing one of those announcements and they said, whatever you do, don't show this footage you're getting of Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi early. And so I came back and I missed that completely and I put it up and I got a call from them like straight away, like get that shit down. And people on Reddit were like, Dash just showed Kenobi. It looks dope. Dumbass Dash. I hope he's not in trouble, but he's going to be in trouble. And because it was taken so well, I didn't get in trouble. But like, I would have gotten so much. I was like,
it's crazy that you missed that little like PSA
Right.
though, and that you're the leaker.
I'm the leaker. There was like 12. Anytime they did those groups of YouTubers, because YouTubers are literally, I'm saying this for chat. I went to, you remember Titanfall, the game? EA invited me to Titanfall for some reason in California. I'm in a tent seeing leaked footage of Titanfall 2. In a tent of 40 YouTubers. You think YouTubers are like all these people persons? They're not. Your friend down the street or you are a better conversationalist than YouTubers because most of us are just basement dwellers who've got good at talking about one thing. So there's like 40 dudes trying to like give commentary for this trailer that we're seeing like, yo, bro, this is sick, yo. And I'm just like, shut the F up. Like you guys are the worst human beings.
It's a lot more individualistic than people think, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
It's like entirely individualistic, actually.
Yeah, but the lack of people skill, like you think YouTubers would be the most personable people. I was just saying this theory, but they're not. Like you get a group of them together and most people they're not people oriented at all.
No, they think they're always in front of the camera.
Yeah, and it's just on them.
Really? That sounds exhausting.
Yeah, it's weird, dude.
It's weird.
See, I've never experienced that at all. I don't
narcissistic energy, or it's like what's the word? Self-absorbed energy.
So is that what these Star Wars events were like? Is that what the overall...
No, I was going to like that Titanfall thing had the big COD, like the big FPS streamers, and they were huge. So they were used to shouting out and calling out. The Star Wars dudes were just, I would say politely, not socially as adept as you would think. For people that when you see them on camera, you're like, these guys are amazing. They know, but they've just got good at doing the same thing thousands of times. But when you talk to them one-on-one, you're like, I know dudes, like an uncle that's drunk at a Christmas party that's way more engaging than this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think they sent me out to 2 or no, it was 3. It was 3 different like Battlefront things. One of them, which I like signed a contract to like never speak of, and then the other 2 was like playing it, and then Gamescom.
I think I got those emails, but I just always thought they were just fake. Like I
Dude,
just
they had a seat for you. They had a seat for you when we played the campaign for Battlefront
that's
2.
crazy. I feel
I
so
walked in.
bad.
And I walked in
remember.
and people go, "Hey, I've finished the campaign." I said, "But it's only been 2 hours." And they're like, "Well, you're about to find out, buddy."
Were you sitting next to me?
I could have been.
I remember it was
We talked
Alex
a lot during
that
that.
sat next to me, and his wife, and then on the left, I think it was you. I don't know. Sorry.
But Theory Theory and I had a good chat during that time, but you weren't there.
Yeah, I just thought all the emails were fake. I mean,
No, they had like a little special chat. Like we're all waiting. Like, is he going to show up?
well, that makes me feel bad because then someone did that and I just didn't even. If I had known it was real, I would have responded and been like, "Hey, I'm not going to make it." But like, I mean, I didn't. I just was like, "There's no way that's real." Delete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I didn't think the channel was that big of a deal.
Yeah. No, it's probably a good move, to be honest. I remember seeing your card with your name on it at your desk, and I was like,
Where
"Oh, he's
was
coming."
this?
They were like, "He said he would."
Yeah,
He said
I
he
remember
would.
that, and we said we're all
said
going
I
to
would
gang
do
up on him, kick the shit out of him if we see him.
Yeah, it was San
All of us
Francisco.
together.
No, I don't remember that. I don't know.
Was it San Fran?
Yeah, Redwood. Was that the Redwood visit
I think so. Yeah, somewhere.
studios? I can't remember.
I don't know who they were talking to, but it wasn't me because I didn't say I was going anywhere. I think I would have remembered. I don't know.
Well, we remember, which is weird. Isn't it a weird theory that we specifically remember because it was like a buzz of we're finally going to meet Stupendous?
Yeah, because that guy kept talking about it, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if he's gonna be here. I don't know. He was like nervous about it. Fuck.
Well, I am so glad that I'm here right now. I'd much rather be here.
Yeah, me too. I do.
I guess.
I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Cool. Evening Theory. Just got my first Theory Saber. The Annie 3 affordable version. Looking forward to opening it Christmas morning. You rock, man. Oh, you're keeping it for Christmas, eh? Exciting. Exciting. Can't wait to see you light up. No pun intended. Yeah, I think we all know who that is. So what else you got going on?
Let me tell you something, dude. I am trying to film Star Wars Hermit in the Hills. Remember in KOTOR when you go to of course you remember, you go to Korriban?
Yeah, I didn't play the second one though.
No, just the first one. And the Uther Wynn is the Sith Master with the tattoos on his head, voiced by Tom Kane, who did the Clone Wars intros, which is amazing. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, how like you can't picture it. I got a quest upcoming called Hermit in the Hills, where the old Sith Academy Master is out in one of the tombs, and you have to choose whether to torture another Sith student and let him live or not. But I'm using the wiki because every choice takes so long to film these things. Like you have to reload, save, go through, reload like a million times. So that's gonna be my weekend.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're filming. Dude, I thought you're literally like filming a fan film in the mountains.
No,
dude,
no.
Oh my gosh, I would like.
I'm like, chewing through KOTOR quests, doing the lore play thing where you film it and then you take on the characters. Yeah, but that's me. What about yourself?
Man, probably in the last 2 weeks, I've spent like over 40 hours trying to learn photography and taking photos of we have the biggest saber drop of our life tomorrow night. It's the Roger Christian Origin Saber, and we're just like,
are they the signed ones?
Yeah, it's an absolute dream. So I've just been focusing on that.
Congratulations.
Thanks, yeah, and a lot of tweaking, man. It's been like over 6 months of making this thing what it is and getting all the photos done. I wanted to do all the photos myself and just like learning photography and like getting the right cameras. And I spent a lot of money just getting the right lens and cameras. I got a beast of a setup now, so I'm happy. I kind of feel like I have a gist of it. But dude, I was doing things. I was like hanging it by fishing wire. I was like taking photos and changing the aperture and just it. It was the whole process. And then finally, in the end, what worked best was a light box with off black, not fully black construction paper, and then the sides are white, and then just having the camera set up, and that worked the best.
Amazing how these
tried to be too fancy with it, but
how being creative, obviously, limitation sometimes causes you to have great moments. And just for chat's sake, last week somebody said, Theory was talking about photography, which really draws you in, because I'm like, man, I got to learn more about this stuff, especially with this dinky webcam and the lighting being so white. I'm like, oh, I better look into lighting and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and a background. Anyway, some guy in the chat, whoever you are, I hope you're still there, said, you guys should see tilt shift photography. And I went, oh, that sounds interesting. Didn't think too much of it. It was for Theory. 8 hours later, I'm sitting on the crapper, going through shorts, as you do. Yeah. And literally this awesome clip of tilt shift photography comes up to me. And I'm like, I'm sending this to Theory. And he's like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, 8 hours later, it just popped into my feed. And that was, it looked so cool that the perspective, it looked like miniatures walking around.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really cool.
Photography's hard.
It is. You know what I also really like about photography is putting it in Lightroom, and learning Lightroom is like a whole freaking, you need like a PhD on that. But it's really fun. It's just like, it's so creative, unbelievably creative. And I never really thought it was. I'm just like, okay, whatever. They're just taking photos. Like, no, dude, you change like one freaking percentage of the light that you have on this corner, and it like completely changes the whole look of the thing. And it's just like, it's a really fun process. It can be frustrating, but it's fun. And especially this being my first shoot and shooting with a chrome object. God, because everything reflects off of it. It's very frustrating, but I feel like I learned a lot. I think I've slept at about 7 to 8 a.m. every day for the last 2 weeks, because I just can't. It reminds me of the first few years of the channel where I just cannot sleep unless I get a task done.
I feel that.
It's like an OCD or something. It's super strange.
I feel that hardcore. That's why I delay looking at my phone when I wake up, because the second I know it's on, it's on. You probably feel that way too. Like,
I look at it right away.
Yeah, you do? No, I delay it, because the second I see the email, it's just like the day starts. And I want the day to start, but I know that the day doesn't stop till it, later.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why the whole thing of being a YouTuber, the thing I've struggled with, I'll just freaking say it, is like sleep schedule. That's something that people don't talk about. But my sleep schedule has been a beast to try to get right, because I want to wake up early and function, but I suck at it.
Dude, I had to set an alarm today, and I woke up at around 3 p.m. with an alarm, because I had a call at 3. And it's because I slept so late, at like 8 in the morning, and it's still not enough sleep. But I don't know. I wouldn't do anything. I'd never think of doing anything else. I love doing everything I'm doing, and I'm just so happy, and I'm constantly waking up with a new goal in mind, and we're one step closer to the next thing we want to do. And whether it's the Vader fan film, or Theory Sabers, or the channel, or the comic, or whatever I'm trying to do, it's just a new day, a new adventure. It's lovely. I'm sure you feel like that, Dash, with your you have a kid.
No, it's different for me. Honestly, I work until we go on holidays, because I got to go to like New Zealand next Tuesday to see my brother for Christmas. So I'm working as hard as I can, and I go to bed about midnight. I've got dad duties and stuff, but then I got a 5-hour window to work after the work day. I go to bed about midnight, 12:30, 1, I fall asleep and I wake up at about 5:36 every morning to my son Jet just kicking me in the head, and I'm pretty good on it. It just must be a dad thing, but 5-6 hours sleep. I couldn't do it before, but 5-6 hours sleep and I'm just good to go. And I have to manage my time differently now. I used to be like you guys, like just it would roll with whatever content I was making, but now I have to be more structured. That's about the difference. But I do get a boon and I need less sleep, which is cool.
Do you like being a dad?
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Do you remember what life was like when you didn't have a kid?
Well, he's only 14 months old, so absolutely. It was way more chill, and I didn't get kicked in the head every day or just, you know, he's a little sleep thief terrorist that runs around. But outside of that, you know.
Which one do you like more?
Oh, good question.
Being pre-child or child?
Pre-child or child, yeah.
Oh, kid.
I know it's a hard question, but
I'd have
I wonder
5-10 kids.
I wonder that a lot too.
Oh, there's no question. Before the kid, you think it's pre-kid. You're like, a kid's gonna make my life harder, but then some lying drug kicks into your brain, and you're like, this is the great. You realize why everybody does it, and it's the greatest, most fulfilling. I know it's contrived. All you want to do is be it. I'm just like a dopey dad. James Earl Jones once said that. I'm just seeing myself as a dopey dad. That's all you want to be first, and then everything else comes second. So, yeah, not a question. But before I would have been like, no, like that's, you know, it seems hard, and my brother seems miserable and tired, but it's part and parcel.
There's just so many nights that like I wouldn't get to have with my friends though, or you know, experiences I wouldn't get to do. Even just like not having a girlfriend anymore has been kind of awesome. Like, because your life is yours.
Sing it. Tell me about this. Tell me about it. Go.
Like, your life is entirely yours. And it's like, I want to wake up and I want to, you know, go to the gym whenever the hell I want. I want to watch whatever the hell I want. I have to pay for one person instead of two people. It's kind of like awesome. And I get the fact of tying yourself down to something and like fulfillment and all that, but I don't want to sell short the time I'm having now, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not.
Enjoy it. That all washes away though. That all becomes secondary, and you don't want to call it selfish, because I 100% understand it. It's only been 14 months, but it all looks distant and selfish compared to being a parent. You just love it so much.
Someone saying I'm about to get canceled. I'm confused of Tim, what did I say that was cancelable? I obviously wouldn't be here without loving parents. It's just not the thing for me at the.
Yeah. No, I know. It's about finding the right person, and you know where you're at in your life.
I'm not going to settle. Like, I've settled before for girls, and it sucks. Like, I want to like find the person that's compatible to me. And by settle, 100%. I don't mean like, oh, I'm above them. I mean like settle in terms of compatibility. Yeah. You know, you try to force, when you're in love, you try to make stuff work. And sometimes stuff just needs to stay, you know, not working.
Yeah. No, that's
Stoop said before the podcast, he said, I met a really cute chick last week and we were getting along really well. And then she said I was a cosplayer, and he literally blocked her and deleted her straight away. I'm joking. I'm going to get you in trouble. No, imagine having like a baby mama that's terrorizing you. Like, I can't think of anything worse. I can't think of anything worse than, you know, not seeing your kid and her being like, you love this thing? Mine. And you're like, oh. No.
Yeah, dude, that's soul crushing. Like sincerely soul crushing, because like that's you, like that's your child, that's a part of you. It's your responsibility, and to be told like you don't have any, you can't be involved, even if you're beneficial. Like, that's just, I don't want that.
Agree. Nobody knows what the future holds for any of us, which is the scary part of life, I guess.
It's just, yeah. I mean, I find it kind of hard to date nowadays. Like, I know that this is not a Star Wars topic, but
I'm enjoying myself. Go on, give it to me.
Yeah, man. This people actually, I think they like it when we go off topic.
Yeah, like I think it's harder to date nowadays. You're always wondering, like, everyone's got an ulterior motive, and I'm just looking for saying you're looking for a good time is so cliche, but I'm just looking for an organically natural time.
Wave's just looking to clap some cheeks. Let's just all
That's
say it,
not
bro.
what
He's
I'm
looking to clap some
saying.
cheeks and make some content. That's all he cares about right now, right? He's on his grind. Hell yeah.
Exactly. You know, yeah, I'm on my grind.
His hot, sweaty Florida
Aura.
grind.
Aura.
Open shirts only.
But it's I would love to have a kid and a wife more than anything. If you want me to be like completely sincere, it's something that I'm enjoying right now, but it's like that's just not around really where I am currently. Obviously that can change in a second, but it's just, you know, I'm putting it off and I'm comfortable with that. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, you don't got to be apologetic about it, man. Relationships they can be draining. You have to be very careful who you bring into your life and who you date, and you have to know if you're, you have your own hangups too, and you got to know if you're really right to be with somebody, and vice versa. And so, I think every time I get into a relationship, a heavy one, my work suffers, my creativity suffers. I don't know why.
My body suffers.
Well,
like I abuse, you know what I mean, dude.
no. Cat's out of the bag.
I'm eating.
They just use him for sex. Poor Stoops. He's like,
bro, they're just
"Let me
using
sleep."
I'm eating things I'm not supposed to. I'm drinking things I'm not supposed to. Like,
God, who are you? What kind of girls are you dating,
no, that's
bro?
not what I mean.
You eat the cat poop.
I'm done talking.
Yeah, jeez, shit.
The hole just keeps getting bigger.
Keeping up with the hole keeps getting bigger, bro.
Wow.
Oh, shit. Okay, this is just keep talking, man.
Yeah. Not helping the case. And so cosplayers. No, I think the thing.
No wonder you don't like
really,
cosplayers, man.
Yeah, the thing that hurts. Oh well, don't date cosplay. The thing that hurts relationships the most, and maybe guys, I'm wrong, but I found that like the internet, specifically like Instagram, is trying to divide the sexes by showing you your greatest fears. It's showing street interviews of women cheating, or things like it just. Brick by brick, the algorithm figures out what you're afraid of, so what you click. But the division between men and women, it just makes the other sex out to be just insanely insidious and evil, and don't trust them and don't get in a relationship at all costs. Would you agree?
Totally.
That's, I would say, probably the majority, but you have to, but it goes both ways. I mean, like, men are no better in that sense, but you have to, it's just where you're looking. If you're looking in a garbage can, you're going to find garbage. And it's like, whoa, how did this get in here? It's like, it's garbage. Where are you? Where are you looking right now for a partner? So
I think there are plenty of nice people, but the internet like portrays people as like these extremes, like they're evil, like just.
Well, they're catching them when they're intoxicated, and it's where they're looking, like
hot touring.
Yeah,
and then elevating them.
Yeah, they're interviewing like people that are like just coming out of the club, like they're looking to get some that night.
There's a demographic.
They're drunk or what. Like, so obviously you're gonna get super offside stuff, or stuff that's like pertaining to their life, and that's what obviously, because normal, you go to I don't know what. Let's say you go to like some church function, you're not gonna get anything that's like viral.
No,
you're gonna get a virtuous person with some values, like talking about. Maybe perhaps something that's different than like, you got a hot 2 on that thing, like they're not, it's like going to be different. But for content wise, it's not entertaining, I suppose.
Have you ever experienced like, I feel like I just genuinely like myself more when I'm not in a relationship. Have you ever felt that? Like, I'm better physically, mentally, not just for me, but like for others around me. Yeah. And I realized that reasons why relationships don't work, it's two people involved. And just the fact that there was a relationship, I think, impeded necessary growth that I had to go through.
We all have to grow. None of us are perfect, and just as much as like perhaps past partners sucked, we sucked too. And
absolutely.
You got to realize there's a reason you chose that person or those people. It's because you were in some sort of a mindset where that's what resonated with you. So if it's kind of just a reflection of yourself in a sense, so you just have to grow past that and move on and be a better man or woman, so you can attract something better and elevate yourself in every facet. But I do agree with you. Whenever typically when I'm in a relationship, I find that I'm like a shell of the man that I am when I'm not. It's so strange, but when I'm not in a relationship, I'm so much more ambitious. I'm more in shape. I have that dog in me.
Dude, I don't think
I'm a
that's
go
strange.
getter. And when I'm in a relationship, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't have that, that fire. It's kind of just all put into the relationship and making them happy, and maybe that's my problem. I don't know.
I
But
do the same thing, buddy. Like what you're describing is how I feel currently.
yeah,
Which now I just feel like my relationship with my family is so much better. My relationship with my friends is so much better. My work, I wake up every
right,
morning and it's not like how do I make enough money to, make sure me and my girlfriend are happy. It's like, what new thing can I do today? What new thing can I discover? How can I wake up and push myself today and like
right.
look forward to it? And that's just such a more fulfilling way for me to wake up right now in my state of life. I think you're probably in the same spot.
Yeah, I'm just focused on my dreams and my goals, and I want to see those through instead of focusing on making someone else happy and happily putting myself out of the way to benefit them. But I think that I like to give. I'm a huge giver, and at the cost of myself and my dreams. And when I don't have someone to do that for, I freaking succeed at everything I want to succeed at, and that's that. Now it's almost 35. I'm like, all right, it's time to focus on me, man. No more heavy relationships like that. It's just, or maybe it's just the wrong people, right? Because maybe you find someone that gives you as much as you give them, and you both grow, and that's probably what we're missing.
Yeah, it's the wrong people. When you find the right person, I hope I have found the right person. None of that, the stuff you guys describe happens anymore.
Yeah,
Everything you describe used to happen in relationships because they weren't the right fit. But
yeah,
now I've got the right fit. None of that stuff happens, and my life gets better exponentially, and I'm more productive and I'm more happy, and every
yeah,
relationships, everything's better. But if you want to worry about being a better protector and provider, unfortunately, being a dad, your brain starts clicking on like, oh my God, my son's not going to be able to afford this housing market because Australia's one of the worst in the world. I think it's where the top in the world behind like,
probably
I don't
Vancouver.
know. Yeah. So yeah, we're neck and neck there. So unaffordable. I'm like, I have to figure out how to, get real estate so that my kid can be on the rung. Otherwise he won't have stuff like that happens in your brain where you're like, got to provide. But outside of that, it's all swimming.
Yeah,
It's great.
that's cool.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Hopefully I get to experience that one day. So
Oh, I hope so. You guys deserve it. You really do. And it's terrible when you tell yourself that like this is it when you meet the wrong partners, but it's just the wrong match. That's all
No,
that's
that's just the
happening.
wrong. Yeah, no, I fully recognize that, and there are people in my life now that completely change that narrative for me tenfold. But um, I'm just really focused on my businesses. Like it is all I want. It's all I care about, and right now, so
I
maybe
just
in my 40s, I don't know.
I think that's gonna happen for if it's something that you want, man, I think that's gonna happen
You
for
know, and a lot of people give me flack for this, and we've like completely gone off the rails here, but it's not something I want.
and that's okay too.
I don't want to be like vilified for whenever people say that, it's like I don't. I don't care. Like I want to live. I've been in more relationships than I can even remember. I've been in more relationships than like I need to be in. And I've learned a lot about myself and what I want. And at this point in my life, man, I just want to be left alone. I just want to do my own thing and succeed. And it doesn't mean I'm not, like um but yeah, I think I got a lot of growing to do. And right now I just want to focus on the brands and the sabers and
hmm
my comics and the channels and all that stuff. And I want to go really far with that. Conventions, dude. I want to focus on conventions and
Go even farther.
yeah, yeah, So that's what makes me happy.
The thing still on relationships. I see some people in the chat, they're saying they're going through breakups or something. I just want to say, having gone through a breakup like 6-7 months ago, being able to uncover the stuff that you like again and to be able to do the things that you like again and to forge a person that you in your heart like more is so freaking rewarding. And I'm so grateful for that experience. So I think people look at breakups just completely negative sometimes. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's true. That's not real. But Skeleton Crew's pretty good, right?
He's
probably
burnt out
better.
and haven't met the one. I don't blame Theory for having this mindset.
No.
I mean, I don't know, bro. I've been in relationships since I was 16, and the longest time I went without being in a relationship in that time was 9 months once.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like I have always nonstop been in relationships, and I don't know. It's takes a lot of time. So I'm good.
That's not a lot of time at all to not be in a relationship.
Yeah. And that 9 months was when I started the channel, because I literally like said no to everything. I was like, no, like I am just freaking one track mind. This is all I want. And whenever I do that, I succeed at things, but because I literally like give up everything else. But yeah, I don't know. I'm good. It's not like it's not coming from a place of like, no, I don't want relationships. It's like, no, like there are, there are some that I'm very close with now, but I don't know. I'm just really happy with where I'm at, and yeah, if it happens, it happens. Cool. I'm not against it.
Yep, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm very grateful that I just have to pay for one person and stuff. That's so nice. It's like everything becomes so much cheaper. Everything, every function.
Yeah. Well,
It's a part of it. It's a part of life. I do firmly believe, though, that if you really want to be good at something, that you got to lock yourself away and like obsess over that to the point where, and I mean like really good. Like obviously you can be good at something and have a structured life, but I had my ex-girlfriend's dad always used to tell me that I needed more structure in my life, but I disagree with that vehemently because I've structured my life in the way that I think that I'm going to be successful. And if you disagree with that, tough.
Yeah. I'm just really happy to make my videos and do my thing right now. Focus on me. Can't wait for Latino. I've dated a lot of Latinas, man. No,
don't do it, man. In America, I went, oh, I'll surf that wave. Don't do it, bro.
They'll eat you up and spit you out, pal.
Oh yeah, no.
But they're so pretty.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
They're some of the most beautiful women on the face of the earth. But it's not all about looks.
That's good advice.
Yeah. Crazy. To quote the Sith code, relationship is a lie. Well, Stupendous is the optimistic mauler. It's true. He is very optimistic.
Oh, thank you.
He is like Superman. Like you've earned the Stoops title. You've got that optimism that's really fun.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then I don't know where me and Dash would fall, but
Oh, you'd be Batman. I'd be the guy that you punch on the street, like stealing something.
Nah, man, you'd
Just
be
a
Random
random
thug.
thief.
Random thug.
Not even a named character.
random dude.
One of those guys talking shit in one of the Arkham games. It's the bats.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so funny.
yeah.
I saw the Joe Rogan picture. Have you seen him in the tub? And it's just like, bro, looks like straight from an Arkham game with all
Yeah.
of his tattoos. Oh, that image killed me. I love those games.
At least I got a couple great kids out of the deal. Shit, dude.
That seems to be the common denominator here. Kids, great.
Hmm. Fair enough. Fair enough, man.
Aren't they like a zombie apocalypse already? Like when things are calm, Waffle Houses are treacherous, dude.
Dude, they're fun. They're fun.
I don't think I've ever been to a Waffle House.
You got to pick the right one.
If you had an unhappy childhood as a man, it's tough. I don't know. Use it to your advantage. Yo, thanks, Ajid. Thanks, Brizzle. $2 for Stupendous' cancellation. Us creative boys are tough for case. No sweat, bro. It's funny. You guys are funny. This is an interesting podcast tonight.
I just am amazed how much fun I have every time. It's so I do enjoy the ones where we, veer off the beaten path.
Waffle House is so good. I can't remember if I went to one. Might have.
It's really
Don't
good.
know. Can't remember. Yo, see you later, Mythic. I mean, that pretty much brings the conversation to like, I don't know. Do you guys want to close it here, or what do you think? I know we said we are going to bring someone on, and then we never did.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like I was just the master of distraction or something because we had so much fun. Somebody's probably in chat, like sitting there going, I had a question.
This was my moment. You ruined it.
It's gonna happen. It's too good of a concept for it to fade to obscurity.
Yeah, no, for sure. But we should do, especially during these slower times. So, anyways, I say we end the show. I'm getting really hungry.
I concur.
But we had fun. Hope you guys enjoy these laid back streams where it's there isn't too much Star Wars to talk about, but more so just about random stuff. Is that you, dude?
It's my chair.
No, this.
I know.
No, is that you?
Oh, that is me. I thought you were talking about the noise I was making. I was like,
No, I didn't hear
that's
any
my
noise.
freaking chair. Yeah, that is me. Someone that comments on the channel a lot. Stop by. Hey, Chris, what's up, man?
I see.
Sorry. I thought my chair was coming through. It's been bugging
No, I can't
me.
hear you.
I gotta get a new one. I gotta get it for my own sake.
Did you know Sam Webber's in Dexter? I did not.
What? Where is he in Dexter?
Oh, don't even do. He's got this Morgan clip, so he's like this. Ready?
Bro, that's his face in like everything.
No, but it's extra. He's like, it's the weirdest thing. I'm like, I got flooded with those Dexter clips, and I'm like, I'll watch anything with Sam Witwer, but it was pretty crazy. You'll see it, and you'll be like, really?
That was it?
What were they going for?
That
Yeah.
was his face?
Is he a background character, or does he have a
No.
role?
So Dexter goes to a jail, someone to interrogate a prisoner, like a serial killer, and he thinks that he's going to out Dexter, and then he walks up and he's got the whole. And Dexter's like, he knows, because Dexter says he knows at all times. The dude Whitwer sits down and he's like, who the hell are you? And they're like, that's it. It breaks the thing. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's just, yeah, he does have that face, I guess. So.
This?
No. Oh, that's him. But when he's in jail. Who the fuck are you? That's the one. Sorry for swearing.
Are we not supposed to swear?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, that is so extra. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like someone told him, look like you're acting.
Yeah, duck lip it. But he walks up before he says that, and he's got that face on it. So you're like, whoa, okay.
They're both like evil mewing at one another.
Yeah.
What the hell, dude? That's good. That's good. It's funny. Can you guys hear it?
No, but trust
Really?
me, the visual is enough for me.
Oh, what the hell? Man, hold on. See. There we go.
Smolder, that's what it's called.
Fuck are you?
Imagine in reality, there's no music there. It's just awkward.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah.
No, I mean, like, imagine if that was real. It's just this weird guy's just in here smiling at me now.
Oh.
Oh.
This video gets me hyped up. I watched this at like 5 in the morning, and I'm like, all right, let's get back to work.
What is it?
Mike Tyson, baddest man on the planet. It is the best time. I encourage you to go watch it. 15 million views. All right, I'm gonna play it.
The undisputed, the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
I thought you niggas knew. I'm the most thuggish nigga out there. I have no motherfucking feet. I have no feet. I have only ambition. And I want my...
What they don't know is the bullshit, the drama, the guns, the armor, the cities, the farmer, the babies, the mama.
Bro, it's like a freaking movie, man. It's amazing.
DMX.
Yeah, but it's DMX and Tupac put together.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
The projects, the drugs, the jerk bags, the nigga. With a lot of niggas, I'm a millionaire. Started as a drug dealer. I went from rocks to Z's, writing raps and movies. I went from trusting these chicks. Now they all want to sue me. So fuck them all. The cops, the system, harassment.
What track is that? I don't think I've ever heard that.
It's a great mix.
Yeah, what freaking Tupac track is that? Are you guys rap fans? Sorry, I know you're.
Yeah.
End it. We got to talk about rap at another time, another episode.
Tyson used to buy pigeons in my neighborhood. Really?
No way. That's awesome.
Crazy.
Dash, you and we talked about, I think, Eminem for the entire first conversation we ever had. I do remember that.
I plead the fifth.
Slow news week.
It sounds like something I'd do.
It is.
Yeah, it's a really snuff.
For sure. Yeah, he would take everyone out in the third round. That was the thing. Dash Star, the one and only, says Tenchi. This man helped me a lot back in day, coming home from high school, watching his Star Wars and KOTOR vids. Much love, Dash, and to you, and Wave. Y'all mean so much to me. Thank you, Tenchi.
Thank you so much, dude. Is that a ninja scroll photo? That is such a good anime, by the way, Jubei. I don't know if you guys saw that anime. It's sick.
No.
It's crazy.
I haven't seen
It's
it.
really, really good movie. Even
Anybody
to
in
this
chat
like
seen?
stands up. Well, he clearly has. Oh my god.
What's it called?
Ninja Scroll. It's a movie. It's really, really good.
New Daima episode comes out tomorrow. I'm excited for that. Stupendous. Padawan, Ahsoka, or Starkiller?
Starkiller kills 20 Padawan Ahsokas.
Yeah. Kills 20 mastered Ahsokas.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Mike D.
The Beastie Boy himself.
Did you guys watch Shogun? negative. Did you guys ever watch? I watched more of the original Shogun show
I gotta check it out. It's
from
everybody's saying how good it is.
90s or 80s or whatever it was. Or was it 70s?
I can't officially say Penguin's the best show of the year until I watch Shogun. So there's that.
Okay. Was it
Oh
2024?
yeah, Penguin. Yeah. It's like The Soprano, which is my favorite show of all time, Sopranos. But in DC, I'm like, okay, you sold me. Now I'm gonna sell my wife to sit down and watch it and not ask questions. Who's this Penguin guy?
Or any of you guys here, are you fans of Steven Seagal? Do you know his movies?
Early 90s Seagal before he fell off. After the one he did with DMX, that I stopped watching him. But yeah.
After Exit Wounds. Did you ever see Out
Exit
for
Wounds.
Justice?
Is that one where he's got the snooker ball and the Italian accent? And he's like, yo, Vinny, and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. With Richie. I just watched that the other night again for like probably, I don't know, the 100th time or something. But that Richie guy is like that's a different kind of villain than you see today, because the guy he had no motive, he's just psychotic, just randomly just shoot up anybody. Like someone cuts him off in traffic, just gets out and like that was a villain. That was a freaking psychotic villain in a movie. I was just kind of
the bad guy or Seagal?
the bad guy, yeah.
I'm joking.
Oh.
I love
Yeah.
Seagal, but I love that he just would take on any persona in real life or movie, and he'll just claim heritage in the accent. I love that so much.
The only stuff I know about him is like I've seen YouTube videos of people being like, he doesn't actually know, martial arts. That's all. That's my whole experience.
They
with
should
him.
say that to him, to his face.
Oh man, they should.
Have you seen the
10th
Sorry,
dan,
go
I
ahead.
think, Aikido master, 6'4". I mean, it's. I wouldn't say that to his face.
Do you see the Rob Schneider clip where he's talking about when he worked with? I think it was Schneider. It's like I think about it from time to time. Anyway, they're working together, and Seagal comes out of his trailer holding a script. You seen that one? And he goes to Schneider, "I just read the greatest script I've ever read in my life." Schneider goes, "That's awesome. Who wrote it?" And Seagal goes, "I did."
Is this real? Where's this?
Yeah, it's on it'll be on YouTube. So I'm just like, that's so funny thing to say. I don't care if he's trolling or being serious. That's the funniest thing to say.
That's good. Where is this? Is this a clip?
It'll be on there. Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Rob Schneider and Seagal? I did. Oh, he's telling the story.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I thought it was like you see Seagal and he'd be like,
Oh no,
"Arrows."
no, I'm sorry. That would be so good.
I could see him doing it. I did. You see this one, man. This is. Anybody see Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo? I'm gonna keep coming back here until somebody remembers something.
Go, Vinny! That's the demand. Hey. Anybody seen Richie? Huh? I'm gonna keep coming back until somebody remembers seeing Richie.
That's such a weird accent.
No,
Anybody seen Richie?
It's
I
the
like
best.
Come on, man. Fair game now, okay? And here's my badge. This is your trophy. This is your trophy, okay? Come and get it.
Knock him on his head.
Huh? Tell one of your fucking jadruls to come and get it, all right?
I offer $5,000 for that badge right now. $5,000 right now. Not that badge.
Anybody see Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?
Hey, fuckface, you want to get by me? There's only two things stopping you. Fear and common sense. And I'm gonna cut your fucking head off.
The best. They don't make movies like this anymore, man. This like hyper macho, like They just don't. God
No, they
damn, it's
don't.
probably why people are so snowflakes around today.
They do not make that.
The best movies. 80s and 90s action movies were peak, bro. No, disagree.
No, I agree.
Yeah, what, like Die Hard, Rocky?
I'm not even talking like the super famous ones, like mainstream. I'm talking like freaking Demolition Man. I'm talking
I liked Lionheart, or It's Wrong Bet Here. That was Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Lionheart,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's what I'm
such a good movie.
I haven't
with these
seen
Wrong
any
Bet.
of these.
freaking Bloodsport,
Yeah.
Kickboxer, The Specialist. Dude, fucking Specialist. Of course, like Predator, Commando, True Lies.
I've seen True Lies.
Holy
seen
shit.
Predator.
Total Recall.
Yeah, they just don't portray men in movies like that anymore. It's unfortunate.
I love the
Everyone's-
comedy too. Just it's like nobody wrote the comedy like it was a joke. It was just a weird kind of happenstance thing of murdering someone and saying some line.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I remember there was this Glimmer Man with Seagal. He beat the shit out of everyone in this I don't know, it was some restaurant. And then he gets a call as he's on his way out. And everyone's like just totaled. And then you're gonna need to come back here. We're doing renovations for looks at all the bodies. Say 2 months. He walks away. Just like shit like that. God. Take me
Is
back,
Glimmer
bro.
Man the one where he kills the guy in the church?
I can't remember the rest of it. I'm only halfway through.
There's a famous actor that tells the story of where he obviously I've watched way too many clips of actors talking about Seagal, where he was the guy that Seagal was going to kill in the church, and Seagal comes up and goes, the director goes, "You're going to have problems with Seagal. He's decided he's a pacifist." And so the guy had to try and convince Seagal in an action movie to kill him. He's like, "I'm a pedophile. You're doing me a favor if you kill me." And Seagal's like, "I guess so." Like he didn't want to kill at all. And the guy's like, "You kill really good. Please kill me." You haven't seen
What?
that?
Huh? What is this?
You gotta watch it. There's like so many clips of actors just talking about Seagal. When he moved to Russia, it was like no holds barred. Everybody made clips just chatting about their time with him.
Huh.
I do remember hearing that he was like, "Oh, I'm a pacifist now. I'm not gonna, do violent movies." Is that what it was?
I don't know.
Yeah, except it was just like, I don't know, a couple of days on the set when he had to hurt people, obviously, the whole movie, and he just decided it. Oh,
Well, so this isn't like it's something that he came up with like spur of the moment.
mid production, like just gamming everything up. Like,
What
I'm
a
not gonna hurt people
nightmare to
anymore.
work with.
Crazy, dude.
You cast your action star, and he's like, "I don't want to punch anybody anymore ever," and it's just
Damn.
like, what?
Damn, dude. The heck. Post Clone Wars Ahsoka or Star Killer, so happy talk. It's still Star Killer wipes the floor with everybody.
Yeah.
Shadows of the Empire novel, Vader states that Luke had more force than even him as Anakin by the time of FOJ or even NJO. I think Luke. Yeah, but you know what? I always take it back to what George said, and keep in mind those books. George's canon is 1 to 6. That's it. Those books are fun. All Legends books, everything outside of that's fun. But at the end of the day, it's not canon. The only books that really are, I believe, would be the novelizations of the movies, because those ones are really looked at closely by George. But everything else is kind of like, Lucasfilm hired people and they went off and they made some stories that like aligned with some stuff, and George would sign off on some things, and then the rest would be handled down to people that he'd hire. They would approve stuff.
So from Legends, is your point of view that like Luke's peak in power as Grand Master is what Anakin could have achieved, or do you think Anakin can go beyond that?
I think Anakin could go beyond.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's got 50% of what Anakin had. Anakin had 100% of what he had, which he was made from the Force.
Mm-hmm. I know I don't know from what source. Hasn't Lucas said before that like Luke achieved the full potential that Anakin was capable of? That's a quote from somewhere, but
yeah, no, he achieved Starkiller achieved the potential that Luke would have achieved if he was trained at birth by Vader. That's what I got.
So Luke, okay.
So Starkiller is dark side Luke from birth, essentially.
Yeah.
As a youngling.
I just would have to find. I imagine George wouldn't comment on the EU books because that's not what he, made.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care about them. Those aren't the first 6 films in the Clone Wars that's Star Wars. Everything outside of that is fun. He's said that many times.
Did you
Star
hear
Wars
about
power?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say power scaling in Star Wars has gotten a lot more difficult now with the 2 continuities, where to the point where I don't even know where to freaking put Luke in canon when he's like the most powerful character in Legends. What were you going to say, Dash? Sorry.
No, it's fine. I was jumping in. Lucas supposedly went on record when they made the first Dark Forces, right? They were playing around obviously for years with video games. He saw the first Dark Forces. They showed it to him internally, and his quote was, "Oh my God, like it's so violent." And then they said, Lucas basically left us alone in the games division for years after that. Like he just went, "Ah, all right, I'm out."
I never knew that. That was for what game?
Dark Forces 1 of all things.
Cool. Huh. Did someone say Bloodsport? Giving me that Theory Talks feel with that theme song. Yeah. I know that theme song is amazing. Huh, look what popped up right here. That is weird, J. Kane. That is weird.
I left Japan because of the war. The war was wrong. I came here to start over.
You guys ever seen Bloodsport?
I haven't.
Of course. No question.
I'll check it out.
Just got back. Any chance you could show Stupendous Wave and Dash of my fateful duel with my Grandmaster Grandma? I made a new compilation of 7 duels. Trying to find your channel. Where is it? Boom, boom, psh, boom, boom, psh. Hell yeah.
That's really good. That's what this guy just did?
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
The amount of times I got in trouble for hitting someone in the hand as a kid. It's one of those things.
Oh, well, too bad. Too bad, so sad. Maybe they should get better.
That's what I should have said.
She's not retreating.
No, dude, she's going for it.
Taunting him halfway through. He's like, yeah, come at me, bro.
That's cool, man.
That looks like so much fun.
I'm having fun with it.
It's a sick pack.
The whole family too.
Yeah, the whole fun for the whole family. All right, boys. Should we call it a night?
That works for me.
Okay, cool.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you having me on again, Theory, and I love doing this show.
I mean, this is your show, bro.
Yeah, thank you I should be the one saying that. Thank you guys for having me.
This is
And
also your
chat
show
for
too.
being nice.
You're here as long as you like, man. Chat if you guys want to see Dash return next week, if he can. Spam one in the chat or spam something.
I'm so sorry. I'm in New Zealand next week, but
oh, okay, right. Is next week no? That's not Christmas. Next week. Well, it's kind of Christmas weekend, I suppose. Getting close to it.
Thank you so much.
One anyway.
As soon as I come back, obviously, because this is too much fun. We had Star Wars, we had therapy, we had action, adventure. Like you're doing it all. Grandma giving it to a guy with a lightsaber.
Oh, yeah. It's fun. It's always much more engaging. And then hopefully once we get some actual Star Wars stuff to talk about, the conversation will really so think of right now as just like a slow, chill time. You just get to know us a little better.
Yeah, Andor.
All right, guys.
It'll light up with Andor.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we love you. We appreciate you. We had fun. About a 4-hour stream almost. And thank you to everyone who sent super chats. And of course, the Roger Christian Saber will drop tomorrow at 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern, limited to 200. And keep up with the Instagram, Theory Saber's Instagram, because there's a lot of posts that I'm making that Roger's actually posting. So we love you all. Hope you have a great night or day. And we'll see you next time. Later.
And you're sounding like a separatist.